not by chance, that all these events that happen in my life are not already written. They're already, you create all things. So here we are with another evidentiary stream against this elected sheriff. We've seen multiple people here obviously now coming from the community, which is good. One I knew, and shows God sees all and God writes all things. So let's get this evidentiary stream against the elected sheriff in Lake County who has not protected the community, and my continual evidence against the county and the sheriff's office out here, and their continual harassment on their kidnapping of my daughter, and a continual threat of an imprisonment of my son, and who I have all the evidence, and they won't listen to it. Not evidence is the case. And so here's my evidence against the elected sheriff. Won't stand down against any judge, sheriff, anybody. No, this isn't about me. And we even had Lou come in from this community saying that people didn't like me and I'm crazy and all that. But I care about this community. So we're going to do another evidentiary stream against the county of the state of Oregon. And I have it tucked tail and ran from this property, because if there was a crime committed, I would have been concerned, maybe would have ran, but there wasn't. Never stood up for my First Amendment. And so you are evidence if you say anything in this stream, just so you know, because on their discovery and suppression of evidence and right of discovery, I've seen theirs, and it does say the word YouTube. So you might want to be careful about what you say in the stream, because you could probably make a movie out of this that you wouldn't even believe. If you would listen and you'd, I don't know, this ain't about opinions, this is about evidence. This is my evidence against an elected sheriff who I hope someday to have seen turn around and put his shiny bracelets on his wrist and he's arrested and removed from the elected sheriff seat in this county, because he has not served the county seat, nor as a community servant elected public official. He's a failure and a dereliction to do evidence, cellular data will prove that he's never even one time made contact with me, either via cellular phone or even as I called for his body to face with me, and he won't. He's never even, he's a failure, and I cannot wait to sue his bond. And I'm not about being sue happy, but I don't want him to ever serve as, I'm a pastor and a teacher, and they wrecked my house, my sanctuary here, the property here. It is a sanctuary. I do pastor. I mean, the property that I'm here, they ran over everything, and this is a homestead. I have a homestead out here, and they just wrecked it. And well, go look at the past live streams. This is more about if he's the elected sheriff, he should have known about this, right? You'd think he'd have known about the swatting of the state of Oregon of my house? The elected sheriff? You think he could have called, and maybe the swatting of my house was a little unnecessary? So I have a state against the state of Oregon too, and I'm not afraid of the state of Oregon. I'm not afraid of the Judge Vandenberg, criminal Judge Vandenberg. One day I will sue that man's bond too. And I have a whole evidentiary stream. If you want to go back through the live streams, it's just evidence against Judge Vandenberg, or you'll see Judge Vandenberg, his criminal goings on, and it would be like a top down. This happens, judges and sheriffs and deputy and elected sheriffs. You'd think they have over. I'm a prior law enforcement officer myself, so I understand this. I'm a prior veteran, and so they swatted a veteran who was only standing up for the community, and had a rapist running around, and he wouldn't do nothing about that. And it doesn't care. He never even called me, and so I have lots of evidence, and I already did on the prior stream, and I'll continue to push, because for my safety, they already swatted my house and been targeted. I have evidence if somebody would just listen to it, other than this county under, I think obviously I've already spoken with Abigail, the Lake County, she does the trial. She said, never seen a case like this. She's been doing not one, this is unique. So once again, targeting, proof that the elected sheriff is dereliction of duty. I can't wait to see his shiny bracelets put on that man's hands, and he serves time. And I don't seek vengeance against him. I'm a teacher and a pastor, but I want him removed. And he's a failure, a dereliction of duty to, as his public seat elected official, serve this county. And a failure as a public servant. He doesn't have the public safety in mind, public safety officer, community service. He failed and let a rapist run around this community, me screaming over and over, what is going on? Why is there this? I've already been pointing out corruption in his sheriff's office. He wouldn't even talk about that. Never once cellular data will ever show he once came to my house. And so for my safety of my son, and they shot my son, and they kidnapped my daughter, and they kidnapped my son, and they put me in jail. And yeah, swatted my house, came in the middle. I already said they would. I pleaded for them not to. I called for years, but they just continually do ignore my son's 180 hours that you can see during the SWAT raid, if you'd like to see that and entertain yourself about this dereliction of duty, Michael Taylor, who I hope, again, someday to sue his bond, and I hope my son does and my daughter do, because so he should not, I want him to go to prison for a while, and maybe he can eat a big cock meat sandwich by Big Bob, or have his asshole stuffed by some guy who can't keep his cock to him. He wants to do that to my son. And would you cock block somebody? Well, would you just do it for you? Would you do it for the country? Sheriffs go to jail every day. This elected sheriff's criminal. To know of a rape, maybe he's mad because the protests were held against the county for not standing up during the COVID to protect the community once again. So, here we go. I have multiple dereliction of duty with the sheriff's office, and me being using my First Amendment right gets my house swatted. I have evidence. Cellular data will prove. And even if just somebody would sit down from some outside agency and look at, well, if we looked at Elijah's action plan, that at 6 months, he left the county of Lake after they put him in jail for a year. He got in trouble. 5 guys got same crime. One was a rapist, and my son was the only one to go to jail. So I was boisterous about why was the rapist not locked up, running around and lying about he was his girlfriend. See, this is all knowing to this county. I've documented this for hundreds of hours, actually, before they swatted the house. So once again, any moment they could show up. State of Oregon, well, it could happen anytime. You might want to know if you want to entertain yourself. I never called for arms. The state of Oregon drove on my property with guns and swatted before I pleaded. I could have shot them by my Fourth Amendment right dead. I pleaded them not to come on this property with guns, and my son pleaded with this county, and everything was tried to get them to look at my son's his file of this. I mean, just cellular data should prove, irregardless evidence. How about the 5 witnesses that did all his community service, work crew, road crew? It's out here. They don't have communities. They're a little hick town. It was a bunch of corrupt sheriffs out here, and a corrupt judge, and a corrupt Ted Martin, the district criminal attorney too, who I have a whole evidentiary stream against, who's part of this corruption, is trying to weasel his way out of this corruption and get on part of his duty in January. And he's going to try to push this trial off, which he hasn't even been able to provide an attorney after swatting my house under my Miranda rights for they accost your body, like they accosted my son's, my daughter, my son's girlfriend, wife, and they didn't even have a warrant. You have to show probable cause, reasonable articulate suspicion, and then you have to show that they didn't have one, and there's never was one issued, and that's the whole thing will get thrown. So many things make this whole case get thrown out. And the Michael Taylor is the elected, sure, under his hat, under the public seat of the servant of this community, and he's the elected under that county. He should be removed from his county seat as the elected sheriff and put in prison. So he can get his butt. No, I don't want anything to happen to Michael Taylor's anus, but he sure doesn't mind if my son gets his ass stuffed or mine. Things like that happen, So, but if you had evidence, isn't this America? I am a veteran. I spoke up for my country, and this is how I get treated. Yeah. And my son gets targeted because of me. I mean, he made a mistake. I'm not saying that my son didn't, was involved in a theft, not a person-on-person crime, but a theft. So, but even if this rapist who committed a crime, who I under discovery under John Caligo showed this and kept screaming to Lily Frank and all these, here he is, here's the rapist saying they're at the scene of the crime. and they're going in the skylight, put him in prison, revoke his parole, and put him back. He said running around this county lying and telling people he didn't do this. It was his girlfriend, and she kept telling and changing his stories. He wasn't. I had found out, and others did, that he was moving around, and you need to tell this when you make a relocation as a rapist or a pedophile. See, the problem is, brothers and sisters, there's more rapists, pedophiles, and murders. Brothers and sisters, I say this because I have a ministry, and they ran over this property and just wrecked it and ruined they shot out earlier. I showed the windows. They're still have been able to get all this replaced, all the fencing. It's been a long struggle. Tried cleaning the house that's been tear gassed with 6 tear gas canisters when they thought they were going to come shoot you dead, and go brag to their state of Oregon in the county meetup that they're going to come, unalive me. To the restaurants that I stood up with for them to try to support during the COVID. It would make a movie that nobody would believe. You wouldn't even believe what you're listening to. You wouldn't even think it's even possible. It'd be like an impossibility that the same thing over something that is just a clerical error, basically evidence, and they won't even look at it. They can't even provide under right of suppression of evidence and right of discovery, even me ever being Mirandized. And under a Miranda, under right of discovery, they can't provide a body cam, even satellites. Oh, let's look at that. Let's make that this part of the case. Yeah, cellular data will show, like the Trump second shooter, how he sat there in the bushes for 12 hours and they knew where he's. Yeah, I know. I want to see everybody's phones. Everybody's cellular data will clear my son. Yeah, it will. And then what happens to elected Sheriff Michael Taylor, criminal Judge Vandenberg, criminal district attorney, and Sergeant Rourke out here, and Sam Birch, and all these people who had never once was Elijah's file ever seen? Did he ever? How come he didn't get a probation violation at month 6 and for not doing any time you're on felony probation, which he was, and others were convicted of it? Not the rapist has never been convicted of a crime. Yeah, still to this day, Michael Taylor, my evidence against the elected sheriff to make sure he wears shiny bracelets, and I don't want him to get his ass stuffed. But I'm the cock blocker. I'm going to put myself in front of anybody. I would do this for you. I'm a veteran. You can't tell me defend this enemy against all enemies foreign this country. My bad. So you're the enemy. You're public enemy number 1 to these elected sheriffs. I don't care. Look at this guy sitting there with his little freaking thumbsy and the whatever, whatever you do, whatever you do. And I know what I've done. I know I know there's been not one phone call, not one ever. Can cellular data show that Michael Taylor's ever called me about the corruption in his police department, that I'm trying to grassroots because I'm a prior? Well, we don't police ourselves. I even show, we'll go here in a minute. We'll have some more phone calls and some more 19 minutes of cellular data against Michael Taylor showing that I was trying to get him to even pay attention to this before even my son just was recently arrested. And myself and my daughter my daughter is kidnapped. She didn't even have her name on a warrant. You have to show probable cause. If you're going to put 2 felonies, hindering prosecution and interfering with a peace officer, and criminal conspiracy, and now he can't even talk to his wife. This Gestapo, remember the last stream I had out was showing they're extorting these people in this town, saying, hey, we'll drop charges if you buy this car that you supposedly stole, but other people can show that you work for it, but you'll go ahead and pay for it, and we'll drop the charges. Then they wouldn't even give the lady her car back. Donated it to the police department, then I think they cut it up, burned it with the fire. They cut it up, and then they donated to the fire department. Criminal. That is Gestapo type behavior from Michael Taylor and his thug. Yeah, thug Michael Taylor. I'd never even know. The guy wouldn't even look me in the eyes. Go watch the TikTok where I told we're going to go on this stream and see that they did already. This videos later. They already sent, because I already called to have the Michael Taylor to come talk to me before any of this came with Elijah's me stand down. No, you're not going to throw my son in a rape cage. No, stand down. I don't think so. I got all the evidence. If he violated his probation, Lily Frank was his probation officer. He would have been given, if he didn't complete any of his road crew or work community service or whatever, it don't matter. That's word salad. It's all the same. His 180 hours. Then cellular data will show 5 witness with him to all these locations. This county is just a Gestapo. They're used to running over people like me. No, they're not. They're not used to having 97% of you are laydowns. Hey, statistical facts proves what it is. You don't like the fact, Jack? I'm a freaking veteran. I have my right to free. The Congress shall now establish. This is not a constitutional republic, just so you know. So I've never been arrested under some corporation. Just so you know, I'm not a corporation. If you think I'm I would be judged. My father, the next time I face this criminal Judge Werner, I'm going to tell him to his face, because I was one bad witness this time, word away from being thrown in contempt of court. Going to tell him to his face that my father creates all things. So there's nothing in this courtroom that's not happening by my father. You don't have any dominion over me. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. I'm still without counsel. Luke 12:11. Oh, you're without counsel. They can't even provide me any. This case should have been dropped. Miranda writes, they accosted my body, threw me in their jail, county jail, where they'd had my son for a whole year, and they let the rapist run around free for a whole year nearly. That's criminal right there. So this ain't about me. Just like my son. Remember the thief on the cross, son. Thank you, son, for having the Ruach HaKodesh. Thank you, Father, for giving me the time when we were all very stressed. My son, my daughter, and told him, man, because he was getting he was scared for his life to be thrown in a prison when you have all the evidence, and then you went ahead and did more, 133 extra hours where this state of Oregon will pay. For my daughter, too, because she worked 2 extra days a week after working 5 days a week. She worked 7 days to go try to get this taken care of for the poor young man. Not poor. I mean, it's incredible how they can just not listen to the evidence to begin with, and now how a young man can have no pride, put his head down, we put all the evidence into it, calls to the attorney, calls to the probation, and all this, and still zero. It's like a movie. It's like, pinch me. Am I alive? Is my son even here? Is this even a thing? How could this even be happening? We already have all the evidence that this was already done. If he didn't, there would be a violation of probation. And he never received one until like 4 years or something. That's incredible. And then now it's just threat of arrest over a prison. Go watch the evidence. Michael Taylor should focus on the fact that I said, hey, you got a rapist, Tony Carson, that's running around your community. And this is how all this case starts. And this is still the same case. And they want to just forget about everything and just think they're going to 97% me, where you all lay down and bargain. You give the bar. I'm not part of the Gestapo, that man, and that you'll be without counsel. Luke, Father's in control. I know he writes all things. I'm going to speak. He said, do not. I already did it. Last time with my witness, I'm like, dude, the attorney didn't even show up, man, to even talk to me, man. What's going on? This is incredible. Where's he at? I already called the guy in court. I almost got thrown out for calling the guy off in court, saying, no, you said you would call me, and the judge trying to tell me to shut up. And all I'm trying to tell him is what went, because they have under my Miranda, remember your Fifth Amendment. I got that first. We made that clear. I'm very boisterous. But your Fifth Amendment is you should shut up, or you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to. Everything you can is just take that out. That doesn't even make everything you do and say will. They don't like people like me. I'm not part of this corporation. I serve this beast system, and I will not give my authority over some man. And it says, oh, you were without counsel. He doesn't have any authority over me. I'm don't even want to be in his kangaroo courtroom or his maritime. Last time, he didn't even give me a seat. Didn't even offer it to me this time because I wouldn't sit down. Last time he offered me. Would you like evidence? Will show. Evidence will show. Last time when he offered to sit me down, I didn't have any counsel yet. And I'm like 6 months almost, into this thing. I'm like, you need to draw. This is incredible. What you just did, wreck this property, what you did and kidnap my son. And now you're making him drive here. Why are you making him drive all this? If you're just going to continue this, and why would you make him drive all? He's 5 hours away. If you're not going to drop me, remember, because I'm telling the district attorney, under my Miranda rights, right of discovery, suppression of evidence, before you can accost me, if you accost my body, you have to show evidence, reasonable articulate suspicion, and probable cause, and then you have to show warrant. You came onto this property. You have to at least, I wasn't calling for, why are you here? There was no resistance, brothers. This is incredible. It's not law enforcement, it's called use of force. And they went at 45 seconds to ruining my vision. Why hasn't Michael Taylor ever called me about the ongoings of this shenanigans of his corrupt police department? And now he's got the state of Oregon involved and swatted my house. And all I'm trying to do is present 180 hours of evidence of that my son had gotten involved in a theft with 5 men, and my son is the only one to go to jail. I'm pleading, now wait a minute. How about some equal justice here? I taught my son, if you do the crime, you do the time, but why is the only one in jail? And why is this? I eventually got under right of discovery. Michael Taylor, check this out. I hope you're here for this review of the evidence against you. Under the right of discovery, I bring this to your county. I say, look, I'm telling Lily Frank this. I'm telling your whole, that's why I try to get a hold of you, grassroots. This is evidentiary thing's going to show, and I'm going to show that. Yeah, I'm calling you, trying to get a hold of you. And in this, like I said, over and over and over, I've tried to get a hold of you so we can grassroots take care of the corruption within the county that I live in. Yeah, it's not like the first time, before any of this SWAT raid or anything for years. I'm pleading, what's going on? Why is my son in jail and this rapist not under the right of discovery? Here's him at the crime scene of he should be convicted. He's there at the scene of the crime, and they're going in the roof. That's criminal. He should be. And I was screaming this. I was trying to get a hold of him. Like, what's going on here? This is not up for discussion. This is evidence against the Sheriff Michael Taylor. The elected sheriff is known under his county seat as an elected official and a public servant. A community servant should be removed from his elected seat, put in handcuffs and imprisoned because of his dereliction for one of duty and to allow a rapist run around and then convict. Well, there was a child and a 17-year-old. My son at the time was 19. There were a bunch of teenagers. And this 40-year-old on parole rapist, see, there's a bigger deal going on here than you should write a movie about this. You might want to get a hold of somebody. At any moment, they can show up again. I don't fear for my life. I've been out here for this many years. I've been threatened by this county. And if you go back before they swatted my house, I can't wait to see what evidentiary IP address, who was the IP that, careful your evidence in this stream, that said, or the state of Oregon has some of the best snipers. As you kept, remember, I kept saying, what, you just make a call, man. Just let's talk about you guys, no guns, quote, resolution, conversation, not guns, not swatting a house. Elijah, you okay? Elijah, you okay? Bam! Flashbanged and ruined my vision. Taylor, Michael Taylor, I don't know how you'd ever continue as a servant. You knew about this rapist. Are you pissed that because I've been pointing out the corruption in you've never, cellular data will show you've never once called my phone. I'm going to show evidence against you in this stream for a 19-minute phone call that I pleaded to your county and pleaded to you. And you told me call the state. I already did call the state of Oregon about your corruption of all this corruption going on with, I already did earlier with Tom Rorick and Angela and the cleaning lady, her illegal arrest. And how about Tina, a lady who found some money in a bag and you take her and put her in jail 6 months later and she gave it to the sheriff's office the next day? She actually shows on her cellular data will show she went on, like, what do you do when you find money that's, there's no label on it. There's no nothing. ORS 005 allows her to, take it if it's not all the statutes. And then she even looks up on her cellular data, ORS 0015. You scared the shit out of this woman. She was going to leave this county. Gary and myself were told, no. They got no evidence against you. You gave it back to them. You went online. You put it in a separate account. You took all your money out, so you didn't spend any of it. That's criminal. They came in and accosted your body 6 months. That's Judge Vanderberg and Michael Taylor. This is my evidence against you. Tina, the lady found cash and you threw her in. That's accosting illegal. That lady needs compensated. She was kicked out of this local store like she had committed some kind of, because they saw her on camera picking it up and she didn't know what to do with it. She didn't give it to it's like $4,500, guys, a lot of money. So she put it and separated her account. She looked online what to do with it. She found that if the sheriff, she surrendered it to the sheriff, made sure it was all in the same denomination, even made sure she got the bag back. And so she did everything and then they arrested her 6 months later with their thing. We didn't know where you were at. She's always down there talking. She was very boisterous during the COVID. Two brothers, sisters, they target people out here. Like Tina Flowers, a lady who needs compensated because she couldn't even go to the store. They kicked her out. She had to drive all the way and couldn't get the conveniences of a lot of extra things here in this store. That's my evidence against you, Michael Taylor and Tom Rourke. And the Chevron, Ed Staub, for what you did to Tina. A lady found some money and she gives it back the next day to the sheriff. She doesn't spend any of it. She's adamant about making sure it's returned in the same denomination in the bag. And you arrest her and throw her in jail and you don't drop that case for 6 months or something. You trying to do that with this? Brother, see what I'm saying? This happens. They walk over people out here. Nobody has stood up except for myself, and we did pretty good job during the COVID protesting this elected Michael Sheriff Taylor because he didn't. All we were asking him to support Kathy with the farmhouse. They're still pissed off about the protest at the farmhouse that was across from the police department, protesting Kate Brown and this whole, whatever. He knew of all these things, brother said. They are targeting a United States honorably discharged veteran. I'm not happy about my tourist service, but I did serve this country, and this is a dereliction of duty. I understand law enforcement. I was a 95 Bravo in military police in the Army. So Reconstructionist, that's what I did. This is my evidence, my reconstruction against you, Michael Taylor, and the evidence, because I know in a court of law that, remember, brothers, sisters, this man in this black robe, I've been thrown in front of. Why would I ever be thrown in front of a man in a black robe when all I've done is speak up for my community? Who we had Lou on here saying that the people in this town thought I was crazy. I don't even know who Lou was. I think he might have been somebody who was working for Lake County, or he's part of this, because he couldn't really name anybody, and I put him on Front Street. So go see that, Michael Taylor. You might be able to snag something out of that too for it, maybe. I don't know. I think you're going to go to prison, and I hope that that not by vengeance, that you serve a bunch of time for all your criminal behavior, and that you get out and you can flip burgers someday, or something like that. I want your bond, because I do want to try to compensate for the destruction was here. And it's not about money. I donate everything to the ministry. I'm not even concerned about money. I'm concerned about that man dereliction of duty to try even stand with the community during the COVID. And I think they're pretty pissed about that they've now targeted me because I'm pointing out they've got corruption within their police department. So I've tried to get outside agencies involved. I've called the Department of Justice recently, federally. I've called the Department of Justice at a state level. I've called Tina Kotek's office, which is now the current governor. And there's this other line where when you have complaints, and I've called the bar, and I've not got one call back due either. Guys, am I alive? Somebody pinch me. Am I alive? Is this even real? Is it even happening? They swap my house, and even 6 months later, in your Miranda rights to accost your body, you have the right to remain silent. You should audit your officials, brothers and sisters, in the capacity. Remember, in public, you have no right to privacy. So these cops should always have a camera stuck in their face for accountability. They're supposed to wear their body cams, and they'll never be able to underwrite a discovery suppression. This is us screaming to criminal Ted Martin, judge. No, under the judge, these are both criminal. They're a ring of Gestapo, mafia. They work together like like two hawks just preying on the innocence of this community, North and South Lake. And there's more rapists, murders, and pedophiles. This Michael Taylor should be aware of this rapist. And when he moves, He should be I'm bringing these type of movements of this rapist around without contacting parole and probation. And then like, hey, he's here at the scene of the crime saying they're going in. Let's revoke his parole. Let's send him back to, oh, you'll lose your funding on the guy. Oh, you get paid to have him in here in Lake. That's the problem, brothers and sisters. Most people just shut up. 97% of cases do not render a jury verdict. You give the bar a gain. And I'm not a corporation. They don't like that. I've never been arrested in this case under Tracy with a capital letter name. I'm not capital. I'm not part of this corporation. They got a big problem with me. I don't support this democracy. This is a heresy. This is a mockery of a elected sheriff who has failed to do his community service and should be removed from the county seat immediately. And I don't know what it's going to take. Is it going to take me getting shot dead and you guys just continue on to tell my story? And I hope that my son still makes it. They don't come kill him. My daughter is very vulnerable right now. She didn't have anything to do with it, and they arrested her and threw her in jail too. Like, all this is insane. This is not a movie, brothers and sisters. Am I alive? But I know that the Father's in control. Sometimes it's a bit hard to handle, but what do I do? Just sit here and stand down? No, I'm going to produce another evidence stream against Sheriff Michael Taylor. I already started the 7 minute to 14. I'm just going to start from the beginning again of me calling and trying to get them to do something. And never once do I believe a cellular data will show, because I even have remember I called and I said, don't send deputies out. You're going to waste the county's money, just like me in court saying, drop this case, Ted Martin, under the right of discovery and suppression of evidence. You don't even have a body cam of any of these state troopers Mirandizing me. You have to do that. You have to provide legal counsel. If you cannot afford one, well, that's part of your Miranda right. They haven't even, after 6 months, they just appointed some guy from another county, because there's not enough here where there's only 2. Dan Spencer, who represented me and my son, which is illegal, that would get this case dropped out immediately. You can't co-defend it. You can't co-counsel this. You have to have different counsel for each defendant in a case, brothers, sisters. They have really dropped the ball, and every day that passes, I risk being dead, but I'm ready to die. Not for in violence. Remember, I never reached for a gun. They're shooting me up. They ruin my vision. I'm pleading in them. I got animals in here. Never am I show any violence. My son, remember the thief on the cross? I talked to him, son, we got to make sure we're serving a bigger purpose. Remember, God, hey, we never know, man. We could end up in prison. He got upset about that. I told you, brother, says I'm puffing up. Like day 12, you should notice something in the stream. And Dad, you're making this about you. I thought this is bigger than. I'm like, I understand, son. I'm trying to get the county. I'm trying to poke at these people so they'll come to the door. Not with guns. Maybe somebody will come. We're trying to do everything we can, son. Remember? And I sat down and talked to him, and he knows, because he's a man of God. Although he made a mistake, as we all do. He paid his time. He's the only one of 5 men to go to jail. Seriously, I guarantee Elijah's cellular data will show that my son, who was a moderator, who I miss dearly in my heart, he's a good young man, a man of God. I wouldn't need to stand up if he had done this and didn't do his time and ran from it or something and did something illegal. I would not stand with him, but he has done all the time. Cellular data will prove that. He would have been given a violation of probation at month 6, 543. Any of those, if he didn't show up, and when he left the county under his agreement, and when after he completed his 180 hours of community work, crew service, it doesn't matter. It's all community service. All goes towards that 180 hours. Out here, they get in the van, and they don't like it, because I talk to this guy in the van and try to tell him, so you write this down? This is crazy, brothers, sisters. Am I alive? Seriously? This van goes out, and they go out for the day. And they go to the dunes, and I've already provided a substantial amount of eyewitness. 5 people went to these locations with the light. Why are they doing this? Because of me. I miss my son. He can't even talk to his wife. So please don't take this personally there, Michael Taylor. When your bond is sued, it's not personal. God said, let vengeance. I told you he's not. This is God doing it. Don't you worry your little soul there. He said, let vengeance. I never sought vengeance against anybody in this county. I only sought the safety of the community. And you dereliction to protect this community is not an issue. But it is a problem for me and the other community members, and I will protect. You and your Gestapo farmers out here, millionaires. It's principalities, powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. That's you, elected sheriff, and you think you're higher because you're above, and that is pride. So when you get removed from your county seat, or you'll send another one of these agencies out here to shoot me up again, God will protect me like last time. You bragged the state of Oregon that they were going to unalive me, and that didn't work out, huh? Like they were talking about it. The cellular data should show one of these officers were, and the witness that at the restaurants that I was standing up with. These people don't know this case. There are probably about 30 men out here with armed men with guns, put 6 tear gas canisters in one 10 by 40 cabin. Me pleading, I'm not going to be violent. I will come out. I just want to know why. It's 45 seconds. And my vision was, I'm done. I'm not the same. My hearing, not the same. Scarred for life, literally changed. But do you think Michael Taylor cares? No, he doesn't. He's more, I don't know if it's a reputation or maybe it's some of this. I don't know what it is. He does not care about this community. He didn't care about this rapist running around. He didn't care enough for me to go, hey, why is my son in jail? These are all teenagers. Why is this 41-year-old rapist not convicted under the discovery of evidence? Here it shows he's at the scene of the crime and they're going in. This is a criminal offense. You need to take him out of this community. I'm very concerned for the guy, and nothing is ever done about this. Still today, this rapist has never been convicted of this, but these other children, at the child at the time, and minors were charged with theft. And this can still, evidence, let's look at it. This is a reality, right? I'm not dreaming. This is really happening. My son really did all these 180 hours with 5 Tom eyewitness cellular data. Morgan, Tom, the 2 females, 5 eyewitness. He's only one of 5 to go to. Why didn't Tony Karsten, the rapist, get charged? You know, there's more rapists, murderers, and pedophiles in this county than any other county. I'm very concerned about this current elected sheriff and should be removed because he doesn't have for 4 years of the best interest of the community. And I'm very concerned for this district criminal attorney because he thinks he's going to get away after he just gets out in 1 more month. He's like, got the short timer. He's the one who signed this warrant for this special weapons and tactics raid to ruin my people. Have even said in the stream, I don't say anything, like they can see a difference in my, obviously I'm trying to look around. There's like this, hair or whatever. It is what it is. I didn't ask Elijah, are you okay to be concussion? Well, I get to look the man who actually threw that concussion grenade in my face and made it. You can see it at 45 seconds in the live stream. I live streamed the SWAT raid. They bragged they were going to. I told my son that day they were coming. I pleaded them not to. I knew when they weren't coming that they were coming that night because I said this exactly, and I'm pretty sure my phone was around me, that there was always a calm before the storm. It wasn't hard. I did this for a living, brothers and sisters. I was a special reaction team, special weapons and tactics. Is that why they did? I never called because I'm a veteran and I'm certified in what you do. I'm a threat. I'm not a threat. Their discovery of evidence is that if backed into a corner, I'll strike. That didn't work out for you, did it, Michael Taylor? I can't wait for you, District of Criminal Ted Martin, to go to prison. You're not. I know the Father one day will pour out a righteous measure on you, and I don't seek any vengeance, but I do seek, since I go after your bond, I seek you to be behind bars because I can't think about how many people like Tina Flowers. You were the district criminal who signed off for Tina to go have her body put in a rape cage, and she didn't get raped. But why? That lady said she was going to move out of this community. You Gestapo'd her. You threatened her with you. She gave the money back to your sheriff's office. You're part of this, Michael Taylor, Judge Vandenberg, all this, Rourke. They are all these. I've been pointing this out for many years out here, brothers, sisters. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm getting to be old. I'm not young anymore. I'm trying. Every day is a struggle. I'm letting you know. As a matter of fact, okay, we're still going. I already burned a gas tank of gas, so no light. I got to make sure. Last time, I don't know what happened at the end of that stream. I had some power, but the whole thing just shut down. So I don't know. Brothers, sisters. I do know that evidence will show that Michael Taylor has never once cellular data called my phone, or even I've asked him when first ever time did I meet Sam Birch. It's funny I didn't recognize him that day. Stand down. This is incredible. This is overboard, and my son has been harassed and targeted. Elijah Werner has done more than 180 hours. That's his requirement. He met his requirements to leave the county. Cellular data will show that. Like cellular data will show Michael Taylor's never called my phone or even came to with his duty phone or his personal phone to this property. And I asked him as a professional courtesy, prior law enforcement. They even told me, we can't police ourselves with this. You got to call. We're going to look at this. Still got some juice going. I got some more gas in the, I'm on my second tank today, guys. So I'm trying. If you want to, I ain't trying to gain. If you want to help out and put some money and pay for, the stream as part of this evidence, if not, don't worry about it. Please just don't hang out here and jerk yourself off. This is a man whose life is at risk every single day I live in this community. I think a lot of people would have probably left the other portion of I'm not going to leave this place, just like I didn't make my son leave that day. I'm not going to make, you're not going anywhere. I could have put I had offers. Cellular data will show that somebody offered to take my son and put him deep into the earth because they know of these type of convictions and they've seen this and they thought that this was unfair, and it takes time to sometimes clear this because of things exactly just like this. I said, no. We're not going to put him anywhere. He's where he should be. He came here because he thought he was going to surrender himself to the county, and I'm a veteran. I don't hear surrender. I already told CashApp Brunsman, he unbeknown to him and unbeknown to his wife. Hold on, guys. I got to keep my eye out here. They can show up at any side. I ain't trying to be like that, but my dog just alerted. So last time it came in 17 minutes after I went to bed, brothers, sisters. So I fear no man. I fear no evil. I have no want. I have no need. I only need to serve the Father. He is the dominion over me. He's the dominion over all men. He creates all things and women. So no need for concern. Please, if you pray for my not my will, but the Father's, not to my own. All of these things, this is not of my counsel. I'm without counsel. The Father is the one counseling me. I listen to, he's the vessel. He's the wind in my sail. I struggle every day to get up in this meat suit, but I know that I have a purpose because they didn't want me here and Father wasn't done with me. So here I'll continue to stand, and I don't mean to be so. It's getting hard to get up and do this every day. I miss my son dearly. He one of 5 guys to go to jail. He did his 180 hours, and then he put his head down with zero pride and did another extra 130 some hours. And they're still threatening him, throw him in prison, still to this day. And I just miss him so much. He's a good young man. And I remember that day, if you watch the SWAT raid, that the very first break into the phone is my son calling, and Dad, I'm not going to prison. I'm not going to prison. I said, son, remember what I said, the thief on the cross. And he said, okay, Dad. Thank you, Father, for writing that on his heart, for giving me the time to talk to him when we were both very stressed out. And I know his wife was too. But we reminded us that if we both go to prison, it's all right. Go ahead, Judge Vandenberg, you whatever. My Father will pour out a just measure on you. Go ahead, Michael Taylor. Send another SWAT team out here. Come on, feds, come get me. Because I'm pointing out that a national emergency is 99.8% survival rate. If you get the COVID and you're between the ages of 18 and 60 and have no existing conditions, that's not a national emergency. So I'm a threat to your democracy, and the constitutional republic is not a thing. So I'm a threat to anybody who stands in the way of the Father is not by me, not by my will. I'm not threatening anybody. That's the problem. These are the men that are bringing the gun, because I say stand down. I'm a threat because I speak up and say, look at the evidence, please. I pleaded with this state. I pleaded with Michael Taylor. I pleaded with the county. I've even pleaded with this judge who don't want to listen. They tell me to shut up last time. Father, thank you for giving me the strength. It doesn't even make sense. I sometimes I have to pinch myself to even think I'm here. But I have to remember my son, because I'm ready to go. I got to stay here and make sure that I do the Father's will. I don't love my son more than me either. He who loves the Son more than me is not worthy of me. This ain't about me. This ain't about Elijah Werner. This ain't about Adrian and Massey. It's about the state of Oregon, who illegally came onto my property. They already knew, and then they drove on my property, legally Cellular data will show it. I didn't shoot anybody. My Fourth Amendment right allows me to be in my house is secure. And they drove on this property. My house, papers, persons, effect. They called the real estate agent. He said this is my property. You did not drive on the easement road, state of Oregon. Michael Taylor, this is sheriff. This evidence, you called for this state to come do this to me. You try to Lavoy Finnegan me because I spoke up about, hey, remember, Mr. Michael Taylor, you know, you do have more authority than the feds. Remember the Bundy standoff when the feds were told at the bridge, brothers, he's the tie that binds. During this gap between him and us, the Tarian, he said, he'll prepare that house. Your enemy be ashes under your feet. Remember, these are things he said when he comes back. And that's it. He is the bridge, the gap between us, brothers. Hallelujah. This ain't, hallelujah, always time for the gospel. That's against you. My Father will pour out a just measure on all you. He wrote all things, so you're not doing anything here, Michael Taylor, that the Father didn't want. That's what keeps me going. Just anybody who's a part of this ministry, so you know. That's above all things. After all, he says, after my own counsel, my own pleasure. So sometimes I get weak. I apologize. The long road he's had me on here. And, you know, there's a lot of wickedness and I'm trying to point it out and I'm getting targeted. And I'm not like I'm trying to be a sissy la here about it. But my son's life is at risk too. And the whole community's at risk. And the even in the country at this point is at risk to things that people just don't want to look at. And so if I, you know, my attempt is to continue until Ephesians, through his apostle Paul, he said, do not partake. I won't continue to allow these things to happen. So what he says is to rebuke them, put the light on these evil, in the children of darkness, the evil works of darkness. Do not do these things, brothers and sisters. Point these things out. You have the right to judge with righteous judgment. Do not condemn a brother or sisters. I haven't condemned Michael Taylor. I want him to serve time in a prison. I don't want him to get ass stuffed or have to eat a big cock meat, Big Bob sandwich. I don't wish any forcing upon his orifice, but he sure doesn't mind if my ass gets stuffed. If he gets thrown in a rape cage, he will be convicted by evidence, not by, and I seek no vengeance, but I do seek his bond so he can't not work as an elected sheriff. And I'm hoping that some outside agency at some point other than the Father and I don't care about earthly things, but after his own counsel, ye without counsel, they'll throw you in front of their synagogues and their magistrates, their men in their black robes and their court, you know, all this, and you'll be with that. And I don't even have legal counsel. Do not give thought on what your answer shall be. I will tell you what to say. I've been relying on that, brothers and sisters. Live stream evidence against Michael Taylor will show that. That's what the evidence said last. I had my phone on me in that courtroom, and I'm sure that it's always recording me. Didn't I say to my witness when I came to court last time, man, I don't know what to do. There's nobody here. The dude didn't show up again. He never called me. Remember, you were there last time when he called me. So I haven't gotten a call since then. And remember, I got called out for calling that he didn't call me. The judge told me to shut up because they got to provide the counsel and they didn't even have. And I get told to shut, but then I say to him, man, there's nobody here. Okay, man, Luke 12 and 11. I just relied on the Father because I was dumbfounded how they have to, under my Miranda rights, provide me legal counsel. And here I am 6 months later. They can't even, under right of discovery and suppression of evidence, provide a Mirandized docu-cam, body cam, or I believe in cellular data would show, or satellite data would show them, even one of them Mirandizing me. Never. Will you find any under discovery, right? The suppression, there's no evidence. And that should throw this case. This isn't criminal action behavior. You allowed all this rapist to run around for a whole year. And because I speak out about it and for the protection of the community, you're running cahoots with these farmers and all these other ongoings that have been talked about in my evidentiary streams about elected, right? Sheriff, you that I've talked about you already. How come you haven't called me since then? I'm in your system. You kicked it into the courts. I'm calling you before you kick it into the courts. Trying to have law enforcement professional courtesy. Let's talk about this. Remember, I even called and said, come to my house. We can talk about this in person. We can do it over the phone, but don't send any deputies. Don't waste any of the county's money. If you're not going to send Michael Taylor, don't even send anybody. Don't, and you still sent deputies. You still wasted the county's money. You're a dereliction of duty, Michael Taylor. You should definitely, maybe the word of God is what I recommend. I don't want to push anything on you. Father will do all things after his own counsel and his own pleasure, but definitely going to try to make sure that your bond is pursued so that you can ever serve as a public servant, community service officer, and you're an elected official. I thought you were ahead of all these people. Well, I mean, I'm a veteran. You're not supposed to be of anybody, brothers, sisters, but there's like a commander, or like the first sergeant, and then there's your, 5-star commander in chief would be over all the militaries. That would be your mass murder in chief. People don't want to remember that our president that gets elected is in charge under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, all military. So the high, would be, the pretendant. Oh, you're pointing out. Oh, gee, I wonder why all this thing. Thank you, Father, for the protection. I shouldn't be here, brothers, sisters. I shouldn't. I'm concerned for my son's safety. He's targeted. He did an extra 130 hours, put his head down without pride, not above it. He said, "Okay, Dad." See, we even called I called it 5 months to make sure Elijah's cellular data will show that I called Lake County probation office myself. Cellular data will put you and convict you right there, Michael Taylor, this evidentiary stream against you. When I call Lake County, the probation office, you're over part of this too, because you're the elected sheriff. And I call and I say, hey, this is the dad, because remember, I have cellular data will show you me calling John Caligo, the one who represented him originally with the attorney counsel who was in Lane County, who facilitated his, because I'm calling like, hey, John, he's coming out there. He's done all, he's done all as I wanted, how do we make this, smooth? And he's there, do what they want out there, Tracy. Don't you remember what I said? Just document it, Oh, okay. I thank you. So I call and by my advice by the attorney, cellular data is going to convict you right there, Michael Taylor. And every hour that you made Elijah do, the extra 133 is literal slavery and an indentured servant to probation. That's criminal. He didn't get paid. He should have been having his own life. How about cellular data when me calls John Caligo at 18 months, because there's no evidentiary will show, no action plan showing at month 6 him having any that you said at month 33. Why does he have extra hours at the end? You get a loan, you pay the interest off at the beginning. If you get in trouble, you don't go to anger management at the end of your probate. This is criminal. I brought this up, brothers, sisters. Hello, alive. Is anybody out there? This is happening for real? I call and say, hey, I spoke with the attorney and he's wanting me. I know Elijah is not, case, I need to make sure I'm his dad. And I'm trying to call to make sure that he has no more hours to complete. No, he's good. No, I don't want to hear that. Oh, dude, they put me on hold. Cellular data will show that's going to convict you, Michael Taylor. That's why your bond should be sued, and you do not care about Tony Carson, the rapist. You allowed a conviction of children, a minor child, a 19-year-old, the other one had just turned 20. I believe they're all, I'm not saying they're not adult. One was a child, and the 41-year-old rapist is running around. The dad is pointing out that you got more rapists, murders, and pedophiles in your county that you're not doing anything about, convicting, and you're allowing to go run roughshod. If my son would have just taken a deal, brothers and sisters, I guarantee you this be gone. They never did provide any under right of discovery suppression evidence, eyewitness, or even any DNA, which I was pleading. If he was there, convict him. I'm not trying to get my son to get out of this. I just want to know why the other ones aren't in jail. What the hell is going on here? Michael Taylor, why did you allow this? Why did you allow this rapist to run around and keep my son convicted for, I'm like, here, convict him. If he's buying him cigarettes, they're all underage. I found out he's a rapist and he's lying. Lily, Frank, what the hell are you doing? Why are you allowing this to happen? Why is he not in jail? This don't make any sense. They don't, no. They don't ever, nothing. Cellular data will show that I called Lily Frank, the probation officer out here, to try to talk to her about it. The same thing, ongoing. Brother says, I talked to CashApp Brunsman. Michael Taylor, I talked to CashApp Brunsman. Whoever's listening to this, who's ever writing the movie, who's going to play me? Who's going to play Pastor Apocalypse? I hope this never goes to a movie. I hope that this gets done soon, brothers and sisters. There's a criminal district attorney in this town who's about to get out of his, one more month he won't be. He's tried to kick this whole case until he gets out and thinks he can put this to trial in another month. I called, Sailor Dad will show that I called an attorney in Bend, Oregon, one of the largest attorneys in the state, and he said he doesn't have the cellular data to take this case. They kicked it out. They finally, after 6 months, have found an attorney, but he didn't show up. He never called me. I had to call to get my discovery under discovery right of suppression of evidence, my discovery. And he never done anything. He did call me that one time when I called him out in court. And I got the judge yelling at me and said, this is credible. And I said that, no, you didn't call me. You said you would, you never did. And now I'm here and you never called me to even represent anything, and now I'm to me told shut up by the judge, being threatened. And my witness said, if you'd have said one more thing, you'd have been in contempt of court. He was mad. You didn't know because Luke 12 and 11 know what he would say. But he was freaking, dude, you were one word away. Brothers, sisters, I don't go in there. I'm a little beside myself right there with showing out without having, Phil Studenberg, who they finally get somebody after 6 months from a completely different county. And I call him and he's filed to dismiss. He doesn't want to even take the case. He don't want, no, I don't think he wants anything to do with this county. Remember Elijah's attorney who represented me? Illegal, throw the case out against you, Michael Taylor. This happened under your county seat as an elected official. Yes, this happened in your courtroom. You're over this too. You're the elected sheriff. So you do have some authority over these. Member criminal district attorney. I cannot wait to see that man serve time in jail because he does not care. And I've been trying to get a hold of this district criminal. Last time I was speaking with Abigail. I think that was 2 times before. And I could have spoke with him because he was right there. But it's no, I'll let him get back up to his office. And that's pretty funny. She says I've never seen no case like this is all she does is deal with cases. I've never seen a case like this. This is not like any other case I've ever seen. Do you think this should be put in a change of venue? Do you think my life is in jeopardy? I'm glad Father's protecting me. I'm concerned for my son's safety, my daughter. They could attack him at any time, brother, sister. They can make up some false. My please, Father, continue to give me the strength because it's tough, just to even do this stream. But what am I to do? Just sit here and lay down and let this corruption go on in this county? This has been 4 straight years of this stuff. It's just been nothing but a nonstop. Until they swatted this house, brothers, sisters, never once. You can find evidentiary stream of them sending those 2 sheriffs to my deputies to my house. And I did say that I would make them look foolish, and I did. One's more concerned about like birds and my chickens than murder. And, I'm like, wow. And I did call trying to be professional courtesy. So anybody got any suggestions now, or I'll stop and take a pause just for the stream. We've been going for near an hour. So Michael Taylor, I got to take a pause. We got people watching, and I am a minister and a pastor. So that comes first. God comes first before your criminal behavior. And I am concerned for the safety of the community. Although any moment they can show up my door, I do need to take, there's somebody here who has some iron sharpens iron. So I always first, Father first. So Hamashiach, Christ, let vengeance be mine. So, let me take some time here and pull back and be meek, not weak, and wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. So anybody, anything, who's going to, make a comment? Anybody? It's getting tough, guys. I'm letting you know. I don't know how many more days this will continue. I don't know. I feel like there's something in the air. I can only push so hard. I've been pushing hard for how many years? For you, America. I don't just do this for me. I don't do this just for my son or even my daughter that was kidnapped. I do it for the community. 97% of cases get a gain to the bar, a bargain, plea bargain, where they can extort your bond. You're a straw man, your capital letter law. That's part of what that judge does up there. Where do you think you get your money for your, not the ones you pay, the other fines? Where do you think that's because your name is all written in capital letters? I'm not capital letter Tracy. I've never been, I won't be convicted. That's not who I am. So I'm not, I rebuke this corporation, this democracy. You know, I took an oath to the Constitution. I took an oath to this country. And just because the DD 214 says honorable discharge does not mean that I'm done, you know, trying to provide for those that don't have a voice, those that can't speak up, like the 97% of you, they get intimidated, and you just take a charge. You get the bargain, you let them extort your bond, your straw man, your tin man, your tax ID number. It's written in capital letters. It's part of your birth certificate. They're threatened by people like me that point things out like this to you, because they don't want you, you know, to know these things. All these cops, most of these cops don't know what they're doing. Does that make them innocent? No. They're road raiders. How do you think they feel this 80% guaranteed occupancy of private prisons? In America, there's more people locked up than all countries in the world combined. That should alarm you. We only have like 3% of the population, brothers and sisters. That's alarming. Maybe Alex Jones' Prison Planet was right. Hey, it looks like Alex is finally. Don't trust that guy. He'll tell you 99 truths and one lie. He's a Trump supporter. You'll know them by their fruit. Hey, it's kind of like Mr. Ben Davison on this platform, Mr. Ballcamp. You know, he puts out peer review. He just regurgitates a bunch of. He's not a scientist like Gene at Mavstar Observatory or Earth Health at a Glance, but he does regurgitate peer-reviewed journal. You know, and so it's worth the watch. But you have to like all things. I tell people, do with me: chew up the meat, spit out the bones, discern all things through the Father, through His Word. Judge with righteous judgment. Do not condemn, especially yourself. So I have to remember, you know, I need to keep going, brothers and sisters, not for me, for you, this country. I took an oath to the Father to, you know, be an upright man. And you know, as part of this constitutional republic, you know, we have rights of the land, organic, natural rights. They can't intrude. This government was put there by the people, you know. It says it in our preamble that we, the people, establish this Constitution. We, the people, we put in this government. We have the power. This government has no power over us. You give your authority over to it, brothers and sisters. Take time for this ministry there, Michael Taylor. You're second. You have to stand by. He came out and wrecked a pastor's property. This is a ministry out here. I have 50,000 people follow this ministry. You just put me in jail 14 days. These people didn't know where I was at because you kept me in there illegally. Remember Dan Spencer, who represented me, Elijah's attorney? That's illegal. So many things have been done. I'm glad, brothers and sisters, that Father gives me the will. No. He don't give me the will. He gives me the strength. I don't have any will. My will is not my own. I know what I want, but I wouldn't be here if that was the case because I'm getting tired. This has been a long haul. These last 6 months have been some of the most difficult times without my son. He's a good young man and he did his time, and evidence will show that. I can clear him, no problem. I don't have any issues. 5 witnesses, cellular data. I'm just more concerned about how he fends from here. He's been just put through a lot of, his wife too. Why would his wife have to be thrown in jail? Be charged? They didn't even have a warrant for her arrest. That's illegal. No, they never had any paperwork. They have to show probable cause. They have to have a secret indictment. They have to show reasonable articulable suspicion, probable cause, and to, under your Miranda rights, to accost your body. Just like these natural rights, brothers and sisters, the right to travel. The other right to travel, I just dropped my commercial license. After 30 plus years, I just never will I be engaged in commerce ever. I'm not going to be part of this corporation. I rebuke everybody who's a part of it. You do your works to the Father, the distributor of fortunes and lies and treasures to others. Yep, by biblical definition, because my Father writes and creates all things. He said, I am the Alpha and the Omega, and I create all things. And Father, it says in his book that he does create good, and he created you evil, Judge Vanderberg. He did create you evil, Michael Taylor. He did create you evil, Ted Martin. You are an evil man, Tom Rourke. That's why the last time I saw you in public, I said, I'm going to sue your bond. You're a public nuisance. There's other people in this town that are very aware of your criminal behavior out here, and everybody's getting tired of it. Like this Lou saying that, where's Lou? Yeah, there's a lot of, I pleaded for hundreds of hours. Please, somebody come out here from the news that's not from this town and just put a blank over somebody, put a emoji over their head or something, give them the screen where they can't see and start asking. Maybe somebody wants to interview, I don't want to say her name because I don't want her to be targeted again, but whatever, Tina, she spoke up. I mean, she's here still. Father, look over Tina. Poor lady. She found money and put it in her bank, took all her money out of her account, looked up what she's supposed to do legally. 6 months later, they issue a warrant, throw her in jail. Michael Taylor should be thrown in jail right now, removed from his county seat. Judge Vanderberg should be thrown in prison. Elected sheriff of this evidence against you, and then your district criminal, your district attorney is going to try to run from this case and have this case looked at after he gets out of, he's the one who signed this district criminal. You need put in prison. Your bond can't be sued because you won't be in a community service capacity anymore serving the public, but will definitely, I don't seek any vengeance, but I don't think that anybody should ever let this man get away with what I'm sure there's many more proof of his criminal just in this case. Tina Flower, how did you issue a warrant for Tina's arrest? She gave the money to the sheriff's office the next day, all of it back in the same denomination. She kept a separate account, removed all her money. She did everything legally. She was so scared for 6 months. I'm leaving. I'm going to live in my car. I'm going to sell all this property out here. Blah, 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 blah. She was going. Cellular data will show that. As eyewitness Gary, the old man Gary out here, he kept pleading. We kept trying to tell her, no, you didn't do anything wrong, Tina. They're just a Gestapo out here. They do shit like this. Apologize. Who's ever going to listen to this? I'm filthy rags. Even as a pastor, I still make mistakes, but I'm still always in a study mode and always in a learning mode. So not like I can't still learn. I don't know all things, but I know in this case, it's quite cut and dry. Evidence will show that the conviction of all these people is quite, anything else would be criminal not to convict all these people that I just mentioned. Crusher Bunchman should be removed as a head of probation in Lane County. I called her office, like, what do you mean Elijah didn't do these hours? He did everything back here. I called the witness. My attorney knows I got all this evidence. How many hours did I spend? I spent some time with Crusher Brunsman, didn't I? The head of probation after I couldn't get anywhere. My son, they told, you document your evidence. You call. Probation is supposed to be helping these people, brothers, sisters, even though they make a mistake. You don't treat them like they're a freaking dog. I know some people who have a flight risk, they'll put they'll put an ankle, but you're not supposed to track. We should track every one of these. Man, I wish I could put a collar around every probation officer. I really do, so I could track all their movements and everything. I wish I could have done it. It'd show that they are criminal. That's why you always audit these public officials, brothers and sisters, because they tell you can't record. These people, you can't even bring a camera in the courtroom. They get away with this stuff because people don't, it says in the book of Psalms, the only thing it takes for evil to flourish, and he says, do not partake of it, rebuke it, shine the light on it, that's all I'm doing, is for good men or women to stand around and do nothing. So I'm not going to stand around and be one of those people who stand up and let an elected sheriff allow a rapist to run around and puts my son in jail and there's convictions on these, one minor child at the time, the other teenagers, and the rapist has never been convicted. That needs to be looked at by a higher. This case should never even still be in this county. No, that's already talked to with Abigail, and she said that is remember, for a change of venue, that's a conflict of interest. You can't police themselves. So I've tried. What should I do? Okay, I'm going to keep producing evidence, and I'm actually going to stop there because I think it's pretty good evidence against you, Michael Taylor, and we're going to go ahead and flip this 19-minute phone call, and maybe I'll get something to eat. Thank you, Father, for giving me the strength to do this. I'm just trying to do the best I can here, Father, with what you've given me. I work with what you give me, and let's just adapt and overcome here. So let's take a look at this criminal Michael Taylor here, and let's take a look at his hands here. What's going on with this? This is the man who will never evidence will show that this man right here has never called me. Have you never called me, Michael Taylor? Evidence will convict you, Michael Taylor. What's going on there? So this is the man. I would never want to put somebody, the devil's an accuser. I'm not telling any accusation. This is evidence. Again, this is not an accusation. This is my evidentiary stream against this criminal who should be immediately years ago, removed from his county seat as elected official. He's a public nuisance and a menace now to society because he won't do anything to protect the community. And he goes around allowing his Gestapo judge and his Gestapo mafia, like with Christy, the cleaning lady. Well, hey, you stole the car. Just bring it back and pay for it, and we'll drop the warrant. We won't put you in jail. Then she does, pays for it, asks for the car. They don't even give her the car. She's already done work for it. This sheriff right here needs to do time in prison, and cops don't fend very well in prison, neither do pedophiles. Well, this rapist got released into this county, and this elected sheriff's not done a damn thing about it, like he ain't never called me one single time. Evidence will prove, so let's take time to take an evidentiary stream against criminal Michael Taylor, the elected sheriff in Lake County, in very criminal set of attorney, district attorney. They're all what's going on with live stream. Maybe we got some energy coming from the sun. I'm not telling anybody about the Magner. Interesting why that's not being spoke about. Low latitude auroras, 5 of them in 1 year. There's only ever been 2 of them in an 11-year cycle with high density proton. Why aren't they talking about that? I think if the sheriff cared about this community, he might be helping people to know something about what's going on above their heads, especially with some of this protection that they got out here. Maybe it's what I'm uncovering there, huh? This is it. All right, Michael Taylor. Enjoy your time behind bars. I seek no vengeance against you, Michael Taylor. I will sue your bond, though, as soon as I possibly can get some support from anybody. The funny thing is, Michael Taylor, and I know this is the father, not one dime to assist. So you got the devil on your side right now because nobody's to assist me. Only the father. Not financially. I haven't received 1 penny. I'm all doing this without counsel. Now my life is at risk. My son's life is at there. You can't even give me counsel, Michael Taylor, Judge Vandenberg, Ted Martin. So this is to protect my son, not love him more than the father, but I have to do this for the protection of my daughter. They kidnapped her. You allowed this, Michael Taylor. And in this case, this is before any of this. And I was trying to get a hold of you, corruption. And then even before this, I was trying to get for 200 plus hours. We had people from all over the world calling you and your office. Let's not forget about that before we go on here. People from you'll have to call back all their IP addresses because they called and figure out who they were. Maybe like what was going on with Sarah. Let's go back. I'm not sure where Lady in Red was. She was definitely part of that whole hundreds of hours. I'm pleading to the state, just call and we can definitely get this. There's no reason to bring men with guns. There's no reason to wreck this. There's no reason. We're not running from anything. He's here. We're not running away. If he'd done something illegal, we might be worried. But if we got all the evidence, like I say, we have all. Adriana, sweetheart, go peacefully. Sweetheart, go peacefully. We have the evidence during the SWAT raid. Okay, this is you, Michael Taylor. You're up for your criminal conviction. I'm wondering how many criminal charges other than just this case you will receive. A dereliction and to the county seat as an elected official and as a community and public servant, you failed to serve this community and to serve the public and has even cared about their safety. And I hear bringing in another case of another individual. I've had multiple issues with this county out here, and then their dereliction of all the sheriffs to not do their job when I have criminal behavior, even within their own departments, or being performed against me, my property being stolen and sold, but somebody else calls about the same person who sold my property, and nothing's ever brought about the property that was sold to mine. Nothing. Nissan Mini, the Quest, the Nissan minivan that I spoke with about the lady who murdered. I bring up murder. I call you guys and say murder. How come you never call me? But remember on that last live stream, the lady just belittles it. Well, I hear murder about 2 times a year, so I was so baffled on that phone call. I'm like, all right, keep your bearing, Tracy. This is insane, So okay, let's get your conviction. I'm not sure what this one will definitely be. Hopefully, this will definitely get you moved from the county seat and drop all these illegal charges against my son, and then pay up your bond because he served an extra 133 hours that he didn't. Remember, they never said, well, you committed a crime again, so you have an additional now 100. You said he didn't even complete these hours. 133. That means he'd only done 47 in Lake County. How's that possible? Be given a violation of probation, and on his action plan at month 6, it would have said he had the 133 hours. Interesting. No call for any hours, even month 33. You didn't say, you just said, oh, hey, by the way, back there, because I'm still poking at these people in this town, brothers, sisters. My son is being targeted by this police department, and it's because of the actions of dad. My son was convicted of theft, one of 5 men. Still to this day, the rapist has never been convicted. Why? Ask yourself that. That's probably going to be a charge against you, Michael Taylor. So let's go into October. Now, the SWAT raid was in May of 2024. May 29th of 2024, the state of Oregon, after me telling my son that day, they're going to SWAT the house tonight. They didn't come. They've been out there every day for a week after swatting, stalking, not swatting, it's stalking and me pleading for hundreds of hours. People calling your office, Sheriff Michael Taylor, from around the world. You have to provide under discovery of evidence. You have to prove. The burden of proof is on you, the state, the county, to convict me of these charges. You have to. And I had people calling you about this before you ever kicked it into the courts about Elijah's 180 hours. And the dad sitting out there, he has the son. He's not going to give him up. He's not going to let him throw it in a rape cage. Just look at the son's 180 hours. If he did it, great. If he didn't, then, but he did. And then he did an additional 133 hours. It's insane. My son has been an indentured servant to probation. And it's all because of the doings of dad being very boisterous dad. Elijah's only one of 5 men to go to jail. None of the other men went to jail. Of course, I was speaking up about that. I wanted not special treatment. I wanted equal justice. I even provided the county with the fact that if my son was there, the 41-year-old man, they're all teenagers. He's got to be buying them the cigarettes. That's how I know he's hanging out with this guy. His wife doesn't like him hanging out or smoking cigarettes, and that's where he's getting them from this guy. He's buying them for him. He bought him for the other Elijah. He bought him. I'm not going to bring up all the other names. They're in the other entry streams against you, Michael Taylor. Because they're part of this case. Remember Tony Karsten? So I said, here's a cigarette. If he was there, they all pass it around like a hippie smoking a joint or something. He'll have his DNA on it. And you did get a cigarette, didn't you? And it failed to show Elijah's DNA. So you never did provide, under discovery, burden of proof, enough evidence. Elijah just took a deal. And it is what it is. You're going to just throw him in prison. John didn't even know what to do. John's a criminal attorney. He was so dumbfounded by what you had done. Well, let's go see what I called John and said. And I talked on this before on evidentiary streams. What did the dad have to do to protect the community? Might have had something to do with making sure they lost their money for their rapist. I figured out a way to make the county lose the money. The action was not anything I'm happy about, but it was like a checkmate kind of deal. Like, all right, well, if you're just going to convict my son, well, then I'll go ahead and I figured out a way I can take your money. You're going to lose your money either way. Oh, you can put me in prison, but my evidence will be, why did you do that? Well, because here's all the evidence on why I did this. Motive, all these, just like now, that's all I am. I'm the evidence. I already jumped it. If I had to, I was going to jump the county and make them lose all their money. You can probably figure out what I told John. Go figure out what I said. I already said it multiple times. I checkmate him. And so my son ended up taking the deal. It is what it is. I was like, dude, you're not going to prison. Just figure it out, man. Whew. That's crazy. Cannot believe they just sat in there friggin', and so it is what it is, brothers, sisters. But he did spend 10 and a half months, almost a year in jail while the rapist ran free. And still to this day, he's never been convicted. Do you really think that I should just shut up about it? So I gave them all the evidence that I tried to, not looking for special. I'm looking for equal. Nothing in this county, they don't apply equal justice to anything, like the case where they convict the cleaning lady and for selling a car on the property when there was two and one of them was mine, but they never convicted her for that. Remember, they made her buy the car back, and then they donated to the police department, who donated to the fire department. They cut it up. That's crazy. I feel bad for the fire department. They had probably no idea what they were doing. Seriously. So, all right. Loving it. I'm just wondering how much gas you got in that tank. If you want to make a donation, there's a Cash App or a PayPal there if you want to pay for some gas. I don't know. I burnt 2 tanks today, probably just live streaming, but that's okay. Father will provide. Hopefully I won't have to be here too much longer and do any of this. As far as this, I'll be able to do the things that the Father needs me to do and be able to continue this, take this ministry on the road. I can't even leave the state right now because of this. I can't go even pick up a part for my truck, over the state line. This is incredible. So this is my evidence so that I can get this cleared up with my son. Hopefully you don't shoot him again, because evidence did show that you did shoot him. And you did kidnap my daughter, and I'm very concerned about her. She's been without her husband for 6 months, man. That's got to be a difficult do. They used to read the word together. The same book, I know, is in their house. It's my son, is Ewok. He's a moderator in here, Civic. You ripped that marriage apart. They've lived without any complaints in that house, not had any noise complaints, not Elijah never got in trouble for nothing. She didn't have no criminal record. You threw her in jail. I'm concerned about her well-being. Financially, you made her lose her job. She lost her job. She worked 5 days a week and then worked 2 days to try to get these extra 133 hours. Oh, not extra. They're the ones he didn't do, and he goes ahead and completes them, and then you still keep moving the goalposts. Oh, no. Like, for example, Elijah showed up, the only one to show up during an ice storm, and he shows up there, and I think it was, what was that dude's name? Come on, Father, give it to me. It doesn't matter. It's on the evidentiary stream for hundreds of hours. The gentleman who's taking care of Elijah's probation hours. And I keep telling him, get your hours, get your hours, Elijah, get your hours. And Daddy, well, I'm going to make a special trip over there and talk. Elijah, you made a trip over here. The only one, there was an ice storm. I'll give you an hour for coming in. And Elijah never received. They do all this word of mouth, and they get to enter it into a computer by writing. There's no digital probation, iPhone probation, Android probation. Oh, Elijah, you just came in and you're the only one to come in from the ice storm. And so we're going to give you the out, your ringtone or whatever, right? Okay, you got 189 hours, 181. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Boom, gone. He didn't get all his hours that day, but he got, they just do what they want. Let's put a collar around these probation officers like a dog and track everything they do. They need tracked. They're absolute criminals. A lot of them get away with this crap. They support this, like Lily Frank. She's a criminal. She let Tony. She was giving Elijah extra hours, making him do more work. I'm just back here raking the fairgrounds again. We just rake the same thing. We're doing, shut up, Elijah. Just do your work. She's pissed at Dad. I've been down there calling her office. What the fuck are you doing, pissing my son? Lilith? You don't like that, Lilith? Yeah, what are you doing? Piss testing color coding my son. He didn't get convicted of a drug. You're making him look, you're convicting him already. He didn't convict of anything. There's no drug crime. Why are you color coding him? I know this other rapist, I've been searching him. He can do whatever he wants. I found that out. Are you color coding him? Oh, shut up, Tracy. I called her Lilith. Is she mad about that? I called her Lilith. Cellular data will show multiple times that I called Lily Frank Lilith. Is she mad about that? I was just trying to tell her what's going on with this rapist and why are you piss testing my son? I feel like you're... So they were mad. They got him out of here, brother, sister. Didn't take him long. 5.5 months. He was out of here. month 6, he showed up to Lane County after I'd already called Lake County and made sure he'd had all his hours. And they told me, yes, he doesn't have any more hours. I said, no, can I get a printout? By calling the attorney who will represent Elijah, we need to try to get a printout. Well, hold on, I'll put you on hold. And they would, yes, Elijah has no hours. Okay, we need to come down there. That's going to convict you, Michael Taylor. You're going to go to prison. You're going to spend some time and hope you don't have to eat a cock meat sandwich, Michael Taylor, but you sure don't mind if my asshole gets violated. So this is my evidentiary stream against you. So here we go. We're going to go back in before I was trying to get this county and all their corrupt officials to do something about the corruption in this county. We're going to go into a 19-minute phone call. So remember your evidence if you say anything in there. So, all right, let's get back here, brothers and sisters. I do this for this country. I do this for this county. Although there's some people in this county who don't like some of the things I do, I got a call from the county, from this SWAT raid, and said, Tracy, they came up here bragging they were going to kill you. You know that. They all came here and met the state of Oregon. And I said, I knew they were coming. So Sailor Data, which who said that? Like, who was the one who permanently scarred my vision? You didn't get 6 tear gas. I don't think you can make it with 1 tear gas. I'm a veteran, and I'm not saying some kind of Billy badass here. But Michael Taylor, can I put you in a 10 by 40 building and log 6 tear gas canisters in that building and see if you can sit there and still be peaceful and not come out with a gun like you thought you were going to? No, I never did anything of the sort. I was only screaming, what about the hundreds of hours I just live stream? Why are you here? Just like my son, why are you here? I'll go peacefully. Kidnap my daughter. What do you expect a guy like me to do? I care about this community. If I see corruption, I've been pointing it out since I got here. I sat on the Chamber of Commerce. I've been a pain in their ass for the rich people, so they're in cahoots with the, how do you think I wonder how all these farmers go round and round and round for all these hours? Maybe it's the sheriff stealing something through the airport. Does that have anything to do with you, Tom Rourke? Do you benefit from that down there in the southern portion of the county, Michael Taylor? How come you don't know what's going on with your officers up here? Other people see what they're doing out here. Oh, if we bring this to your attention, we get shot at and swatted and, put in jail like Tina Flowers for speaking out. She didn't get swatted, but you put her in jail. Who issued that arrest warrant? You, criminal Judge Vandenberg. Can't wait to sue your bond. Don't tell me to shut up in court again. I told Abigail, you tell me to shut up in court again, I'm going to come unglued on you. I'll make a scene this time. You better be thankful that I have the word of the Father over me, and my word's not my own. He said, don't worry what to say. And I will tell this, as you mark my words, I've always, hopefully they'll drop this. I will sell Judge Criminal Vandenberg. You don't have, my Father creates all things. So you're not doing anything in there. The Father does not, you don't have any, my judgment is by the Father. If I've done anything criminal, if I'm concerned, I only fear the Lord. You don't have any dominion over me. I'm not a corporation. You know that. I've said it to you multiple times. Is it? No, I'm not. My name is not all written in capital. I've said that in front of you, Judge Vandenberg. You haven't seen that, Michael Taylor. Are they advising you of me what's going on in your courtroom and house? And this is right in the same office, same building. So let's convict you, and hopefully someday we'll sue your bond. And for the county's best interests, for their safety, and so that maybe someday my son can be reimbursed for all the time. And his wife lost his job. They threw her in jail, man. Poor lady. She's a good lady. She really is. My son is a good man, and they read the Word of God together, and they've been he pays he works hard. He's a mechanic. He fixes cars. He's an honest man. Although he got charged with theft, they were breaking into empty, vacant buildings, and one occupied that the rapist told him was some pedophile who got kicked out of the county a year before, and all his stuff was just sitting in there, and there's some kind of vigilance, freaking criminal mastermind. And Michael Taylor, you are aware of who Tony Karsten is, so let's see, before you brought your SWAT team out and your whole shenanigans of criminals, this is me trying to be reasonable. Call you, hopefully I have enough battery, and just speak with the county to try to get this dealt with so you didn't bring the SWAT and you didn't ruin my vision permanently, wreck this house. This animal's not the same. I told you, he left for a while. He came back with, his body was ruined. I mean, he's better, but he's not the same dog. This dog over here was never without this dog. He wouldn't leave the property. Somebody tried to get him off the property, literally broke their hand with blood on it, he wouldn't leave. Not till his dad got home. So imagine being here with dad without his brother, and he ain't never been without his brother for 4 years. It's a hard time for this dog. Never alone. Was he the only? You got to imagine they didn't do anything. Oh, he'll fight to the death. You go to the thing, and we're going to come in there and kill this guy, shoot him. You came out here with an A-plan, state of Oregon, and you're very aware of this, Michael Taylor. You had to be until I execute this warrant. And then I'm some kind of violent man. I said I would fight to the death with this. Never did I say I was calling for no guns. So your dereliction to even look at the evidence in this case is going to convict you. I'm pretty sure you're a violent. I hope you receive violent criminal charges. Not vengeance. You are violent. You brought a SWAT team. You issued a state warrant, the state to come out, and my eye is not the same. My hearing is not at 45 seconds. Do you realize how many, when I got out of jail after 2 weeks after your criminal, a district attorney and Judge Vanderberg, my hands, how long do you think Michael Taylor could stay in a building with 6 tear gas canisters? When I woke up after, because it was still in here, they left the door open. My hands were like, I was like, it took me an hour just to get. And anytime I clean in all these, it takes a professional. Let's do this one more time for evidentiary purposes against Michael Taylor, because you allowed this. You allowed, and there were more taken from this. You even, some of you guys missed the house a couple times. You hit the sides of the seams and you fired way an excessive amount of rounds. At 45 seconds, this, bam! After just asking Elijah if he was okay. Look at the flash. Look at the flash. This concuss is so funny. It's so ironic that this, close my eyes, it freaking moves all over the place. This is a burn in my retina. You permanently scarred me for life. I have a very similar image of this and a big, kind of like it's like a bunch of dots in another line up here, because that's the concussion. Did I call for violence? I just went to the door and asked Elijah, I didn't know if if you'd shot him, what you'd done to him. I was only concerned for safety. Did I go reaching for a gun? No, I started live streaming it immediately, didn't I? I just opened up the door and asked, and this is 45 seconds. Please, Father, let me at least look in the man's face. I don't want to see him, have a job again, but I hope he'll lose his job, and I hope I can sue his bond. I hope he can look me in the eye, the man who threw this, because I found this, and he can at least see this, because he knew what the other end of this did. Did he know about Elijah's 180 hours that he had already done, plus he did 130? And who was shot? Was this shot from the SWAT? How many SWAT vehicles were out here? I only asked you to bring those SWAT vehicles and protect the businesses, huh, Michael Taylor? Remember all that? The protests against Kate Brown, against the sheriff's office. Is this a personal vendetta against me? Because I wanted you. 6 of these. Michael Taylor, do you think it would be, I don't seek vengeance, and I don't believe an eye for an eye, so we can't do this, brothers and sisters. See, I never did. An eye for an eye would mean we would take Michael Taylor and we would put him in the same building, and we would lob 6 of these inside of this house, and we would let Judge Vanderberg sit in here. And yeah, because I said, hey, let me out, man. I got animals are running around. My kitties were in there. Remember, I'm pleading the state. I got animals in here, guys. I will come out. I need to call. So I need to get some numbers of somebody to call so they could. Elijah, what is this whole, this man are going to come out with? You in your evidence, you think you have me convicted because YouTube, anonymous caller. What about the other hundreds of calls, Michael Taylor? Hundreds of calls from around the world that you're going to have to summons their IP addresses as part of my right of discovery. I want all this cellular data. Whoever called your office, hundreds of hours for any of this phone call that I'm going to show against you, before all this was done. This was unnecessary. You just had to come to my door. What about who? I don't want to convict, but who was the community member who said, man, you got a chip on your shoulder? That guy was just active during the COVID. You're mad at him because he's boisterous in the community, very loud, and he stands up for the right of the people. But you think I know that you have him. I know he's in your jail. Don't think you're going to get rid of him. Don't think you're going to get rid of him. That was way excessive. You could have just drove to that man's front gate and said, hey, he wants to talk about Elijah's 180 hours, and he would have given you his son. Tell your dad will show that, huh, Michael Taylor? They called you trying to get you to even afterwards going, what in the hell did you just do? Community members, so nobody cares about that. No, brothers and sisters, I do care about this country. It's not the best country in the world, but it is God's bride is everywhere. So I took an oath to the Constitution, and under my natural rights, I'd like to see people not have their rights violated. And because I speak up, of course I'm a veteran. You take an oath to the Constitution to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't mean with violence. I use my mouth. I use my First Amendment. So I'm being attacked physically. My land, this ministry has been ruined. I still don't have all this. Brothers, fancy and expensive, and it's been tough. I just haven't been able to get. I thought I would have more motivation and have more of it. They wrecked a lot of that. One police officer, that front gate's locked. Can you give us the code? Yes, here it is. Cellular data will show they had to have one of a body cam. They didn't record any of this, so. But that's what, yeah. No, here's the code. No hesitation. We don't want to wreck any more of your property. As they're screaming, we don't want to wreck your property, acting all nice, lobbing more tear gas canisters in at me. But I'm a traffic crash, not accident. Accidents happen because of mechanical crash. The rules of the riots are designed for people. I'm a prior investigator. I'm doing this investigation, and I've got massive piles of evidence. Again, it's a traffic crash reconstructionist. I'm a reconstruction. Brothers and sisters, this is insane. If you reconstruct this all the way back to 4 years ago, you'll see how easy it is to see that the evidence will convict everybody from the judge down to the bottom of this county, because I've tried everything I can to get them to use their voice and communicate. I've even pleaded for this elected sheriff, you'll see on this video, to come to my house and have a face-to-face. Instead, my eye, my hearing, my son has been kidnapped, can't talk to his wife, thrown in a jail cell. I lost all my precious metals because of this, and it ain't about money. But I had to take my savings and what would be my retirement. I don't have very many things for me. Most everything I own is for other people. It's just what I do. Anybody knows me, that's what I do. Service, I join them. And Tracy, stop trying to figure everything out, and you can't save the world. That was my family, like 16. You don't need to get the answer to every problem. You can't fix everybody's problems. You got your own issues, Tracy. You should worry about, 17 years old, I joined the United States Army. You're not going to tell me I can't save the world. You can't tell me I can't serve my country, and you're sure in the hell ain't going to shut me up. So once I receive my honorable discharge, I don't want to hear it ever again. I have that right as a veteran. I defended your right to free speech. So don't try to sit there and trample on my right to free speech. And this is what happens, brothers, sisters, when you speak up a lot in this country. They'll crush you. Kind of like Mexico in some ways. Not that Mexico's that bad, but, they only got the federales there and the MS-13. You come up a little bit there, they'll just squash you right back down. Government, if not the government, will get you. So in this case, they're trying to keep me down and suppressed and silent, and they don't want me to have a voice. And it doesn't matter. I'm going to continue to use my voice for those who have no voice. And so if I serve this United States in military American industrial complex, unbeknown at 17 years old, a minor, what the hell I was getting myself to. I had some kind of, I have to serve this country because, that's the right thing to do as far as there's, defend the rights, people's their rights of freedom. And I'm not going to have anybody tell me I can't, help other people. No, That's not what we do, brothers and sisters. We help ourselves as a nation using our military bases to do unethical, unbiblical under this testament, breaking this New Testament, which I teach under this covenant. He said, let vengeance be mine. So I never once said to call for violence. And that's the problem against this, their idiocracy with their warrant, is nobody ever called for violence from this property. Nobody called, never everybody put it in any public in danger. There was no victim here. Originally, my son had a conviction, but they were empty buildings. This is incredible, brothers and sisters. One man spent a whole near year in jail as a rapist ran free. This is excessive force. As a law enforcement officer, you have to show the warrant, and they did not show warrant. They didn't even knock on the door. At 45 seconds, I was scarred for life. My hearing will never be the same. Earmarked, if you will. Don't like it, but life ain't Burger King. I have to continue on for my son. So it wouldn't be right to put Michael Taylor, Judge Vandenberg, and Ted Martin in this building and shoot 6 of these at them and see how that feels. See if Michael Taylor and Sheriff, if they want one of these. Look how close that was. At 45 seconds, you can see the whole flash in my face because it was right there, cussed right next to my face. That guy he couldn't have been very far. That SWAT vehicle was right off the front of me. You see me after I came outside that I walked down and they were right there. That man threw that thing right at, he was a headshot. Headshot, they probably laughed. I know. How many rounds was shot at Elijah Werner? He said I would go. He wouldn't. He said he'd go peacefully. He didn't have any weapons. He can't own one. What the hell, state of Oregon? What the hell, Michael Taylor? So let's get on with because I don't seek vengeance, but let's get on with the conviction of Michael Taylor and the removal from the county seat office, and that he should be convicted. I think he is a violent criminal because he sent the state of Oregon to swap my house. This is my evidence against you, Michael Taylor.
Yes, sir. This is the non-emergency line.
So we're going to go through this evidence here on this stream, okay? And we'll continue on. What are we doing here? Why are we not playing? Come on, phone. Please work. Come on, Father. Help me provide this evidence.
Okay, sir. I've reported something to your department here now. There's got to be at least 4 or 5 phone records of this same criminal activity that's going on. And nothing's being done. So I need to report it again. And I'm going to, I don't want to go outside this county. So I want to try to get the actual, the
jury's listening to this. I can take me to jury. Some of this against Michael Taylor's county.
And multiple
they want to use it against me. This is what
times.
This is about too.
And so again, I've already had the sheriff's department saying they were going to do something about it, and then nothing was ever done. And so it just keeps happening. And
I need to get a commo check. Lima Charlie, loud and clear. Hotel Mike, how me? Anyone? Copy? Anybody got copy? How copy? Roger, that's a good copy. How copy? Anyone? Am I coming in garbled? Okay, all right, here we go. Thank you, Connection, for making your connection, coming back and being part of this evidentiary stream. Just appreciate your time. Time is tied, and I do appreciate for the ministry, the support to come back and just show your just being part of this. Thank you so much for just being a witness. All right, let's go ahead and continue the evidence against the criminal Michael Taylor, and hopefully very soon he'll be moved from the county seat, not out of vengeance, and his bond will be sued by myself, my son, and my daughter, so he can never work as an officer of the law, enforcement, public servant, or community service officer. He's a threat to this community by dereliction of duty, and he has allowed a rapist to run free. And in this case, I believe I'm calling about Cole Bergman, another man who Michael Taylor says he knows this. Oh, excuse me, not Michael Taylor. This is Tom Rourke. I believe Cellular Data knows Cole Bergman. I believe this is the gentleman that I'm speaking of here. And I speak of prior ongoing trying to get the sheriff involved. So Michael Taylor, enjoy your shiny bracelets. They don't like cops in jail very much, I'm sure, especially pedophiles and rapists. they release more pedophiles, rapists, and murders into this county. You don't do a very good job at policing, looking after the people that are in your county. You've allowed this threat to be in your community when I brought this to your attention. So unfortunately, I do believe you'll probably lose your bond, and hopefully my son will be able to reimburse the time that he lost, and my daughter. I feel very sorry for them. So anyways, thank you for the combo check. Let's move on with this evidentiary stream against criminal Michael Taylor.
Tried to avoid this. Do you understand? I mean, I don't want to do this, but when somebody keeps harassing me and actually criminal activity and keeps committing crimes, and I was told there'd be a stalking order put in place, the whole thing, but it keeps happening. It's dereliction of duty on this northern portion of the county up here. And so I don't know what else to do other than to keep reporting it. And it's getting to the point to where it's criminal what you guys have done now as far as the department. This is criminal activity that's been reported multiple times to the county, and we're not doing it. I even put it on. I just spoke with the under sheriff or whatever that was, the sheriff's assistant about, sir, I have a large live stream following.
Okay. I have so many times requested, and he's brought up on this stream against you, Michael Taylor, to speak with the sheriff, and they give me the sheriff's under assistant or whatever this title is, because they won't give me to you. Remember, you were even on vacation for a while, and then you got back and you never called me. That was their excuse. You were on vacation until the end of the year. I've spoken to the under sheriff. So the under sheriff is aware of the ongoings and has done nothing. This is one who's somebody under you. You shouldn't be in charge of any of these people, Michael Taylor, because they're dereliction of duty to even get. Let's continue on against your conviction. I wonder how many criminal charges you'll be charged with. Oh, Father, thy kingdom come, not of my own vengeance, Father, thy will be done.
Internet, and I live streamed the last time you guys sent 2 deputies out that I insisted don't send the deputies out here because they're going to waste my time. I want the elected sheriff.
If you'd like to see that incident, you can find that on Predestined. I think it's number 4 or FOR Light. It might be on this channel too, under one of the channel videos, but it is a live stream where I was live streaming, talking about not licking the boot of this, not giving into this authority, these criminals. Called Michael Taylor, like in this case prior. No, I have I'll probably be able to do more live streams because I have more live streams of me calling against Michael Taylor. So we'll be definitely doing more live streams against Michael Taylor of me calling and saying, don't send any deputies out here. I don't want you to waste the county's money. And that was my first meeting with, was it Lance or Sam? I don't know. They're both, there's that other young, go watch it. It's about a 20-minute. And I told him I'll make them look like, and don't waste the county's money. Don't send them out. They don't have any authority. I'm talking about criminal behavior within the police department, and I don't need you to waste the county's money. So don't send deputies. They don't have any authority. I'll make them look foolish if you send them out here. And I did. It's quite entertaining. If you like to entertain yourself, it ain't entertaining. It's my life. But if you'd like to see me audit these 2 clowns in frickin' clown suits who are, I weren't here during the COVID. Yeah, but if it does it again, I'll be right back up your ass because you didn't do anything to protect community last time. So I don't want to hear your excuses. You're a public servant. Remember, you serve me. So I don't even know why you're here. I asked for Michael Taylor. Criminals. And what a wasting the county's money. I called for you, Michael Taylor, and instead you sent the deputies. So that's what I'm referring to on this video. Jury against Michael Taylor. Maybe he'll just take charges and just go to prison for a while. Maybe he'll take it to the box. Maybe he's smart enough. I mean, he's the sheriff. He should be able to take it to the box. He should be smart enough. No poly, no waiver, no statement. That's what I'd recommend, Mr. Criminal. So let's get back to this undersheriff, me speaking to the undersheriff. So there's been all this evidence that I've tried to avoid a SWAT raid, men with guns I have so many cases against this county, brothers, sisters, it would make you sick. Seriously.
way bigger than just this guy harassing me. It goes along with it that the sheriff is not only not done anything about this, there's another crime that I've reported now for years in this county that is not being taken care of as well. And
More
it's
crime
getting large.
Taken care of. You know about it, Michael Taylor.
It involves multiple people. It's not just
Angela, Arrow Gap. Jury, bring up Arrow Gap Road and Angela. We'll probably have to take a recess in this case for just off of this little sidebar here. But you're going to have to look at Angela, the millionaire from California who stole the estate of her sister. And we'll go on from there. Look into Angela and Michael Taylor. This was going on. Judge Vanderberg issued a warrant for the cleaning lady. Remember all these prior cases. So this is multiple cases against you, Michael Taylor. You're knowing this. I called you about this. Remember this, you can't make this. I was already calling and have all those prior phone calls. Man, I really wish I would have recorded the phone call. You should report everything, guys. What an idiot that I was. Maybe I did on a different phone. Maybe I should go through some of these other phones because I normally recall all my, when I tell everybody, record all your public with any community service. When you're in public, audit all your public officials. If they serve the public in any capacity whatsoever, stick a camera in their face, make them accountable. You have that right under the right of free press. That is your First Amendment right. Congress shall establish no law prohibiting the free exercise of free speech, freedom of the press. You're a citizen. You have the right to free and freedom of religion. Okay, I'm not going to go into all the others. Remember, you have many rights under this Constitution if you just assert them, but you won't. You use them, and you're going to end up losing them. So I won't go by a law that's not under the Constitution justified. I don't have to. I know that the federal government is only put in place to protect my rights. Any law that's made that's not constitutional, I don't have to follow. It's not a constitutional law. A mandate is not a law. I don't go on dates with men. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry about anything. I apologize. My father, who sent his son, blotted out the handwriting of ordinances, wrote those on tables on our hearts, fleshy tables of our hearts. He blotted out the handwriting of ordinances in the book of Colossians 2:14. So I'm not under an ordinance. So you know, an ordinance isn't a law, and I don't follow codes because I'm not a corporation. So if you can get idiot people to follow a code or an ordinance or a corporation and extort their bond, maybe they're foolish, maybe they don't know. But I know most of the cops that enforce this don't even know what they're enforcing. Capital letter law. And I'm not a corporation. A corporation is written in all capital letters. This was a constitutional republic. It is now sold your labor on the stock exchange. They want to throw my son in a cage and extort his corporate, but they get paid for him to be, and they're ever going to allow this state to make money off my son and let his asshole get represented, violated or penetrated. Michael Taylor, I don't want that to happen to you. That would really suck if you had to eat a cock meat sandwich, Michael Taylor. It really would. Big Bob, man. I heard about Big Bob. You got a pretty big cock. So enjoy your sandwich. Oh, man, that's horse meat sandwiches. That's the bologna. Never mind. Phony bologna, huh? Anyways, enjoy your time. I hope that my eyes get to witness you turning around and putting shiny bracelets. And I hope you do fend well. I do hope that your bond gets sued, that my son sues your bond, and that my daughter sues your bond for all the criminal charges that should be brought against, and the damages, physical damage to this property, and that one day you do make it through your time in prison, and that you can flip burgers or something someday, man. I don't want to take your whole livelihood away, man. I don't, Michael Taylor, look, personal side note. Look, you would never call me. You would never talk to me. And here's me. Look, man, when you get out of prison, maybe you can work for a car wash or something. That'd be cool. You get start somewhere from the ground up. Hey, man, you know, I got to rebuild out here. I never asked for you to be put in a 10 by 40 building and have 6 tear gas canisters. I still want you to have a job, man. I never condemn just because your bond is sued. It's so that this public can be protected from a tyrant criminal like you who was put in jeopardy and safety and allowed a rapist thrown around for a whole year under your county seat. So when you get removed, don't take this personally. I have nothing against you, like personally. You're just a criminal and you should never be elected. I don't know who elected you, but whoever did, they didn't get obviously what they checked the box. They thought they would get some service. Public, as an elected official, you have authority over all of this county. Any one of these people, even the Fed government, and I told you that too, didn't I? Wait, did you know that? Yeah, I was screaming that. Remember during the whole protest? You got more authority than this OSHA. Come out and protect this business. They don't want to shut their doors because if they do, they're never going to come. Remember, flatten the curve 2 weeks? This is not the first, but the second time when I held a protest against the governor and the sheriffs. Oh, that's why you swatted my house, huh? You're mad at Dad. Why are you making my son pay for all of this? Why don't you just come after me? You're making it personal. This was never personal, Michael Taylor. If you're mad at me, why won't you just call me? I only care about this country and this community. I don't have a personal vendetta. I could be like most of these people in this town, just shut the fuck up and just exist out here and never say a damn thing about it. I love it out here. You can disappear out here. You go drive down the wrong way, they'll make you disappear out here. So, Michael Taylor, I have no personal against you, man. I hope one day you'll be able to flip burgers for maybe some mom and pop restaurant or something. Start from the ground up, man. Maybe you can make a difference. People need to eat. Good food is good. So, yeah, you be doing a public service, but never should you be wearing that badge and protecting. You have failed. I have protected this community. I'm more on this town than you have ever been since I've showed up. I have protected this community more than you. I've asked people to tell me, will you run for sheriff? I've had people, I'm sure I had my cell phone on me and cellular data will show somewhere along mine, and God is my witness. I've had people ask me to protect this community, to run in a public office. Oh, they know I'm boisterous, but that's what they like about me. Not everybody. Lou don't like me, huh? Oh, everybody there thinks you're crazy in this town. Some people do. I'm sure they do. That's fine. You're crazy not to stand against this tyranny. That's what's crazy. If you ask me, what's crazy is a sheriff could be notified that his county is allowing a rapist to run free and not do anything about it after committing another crime and lying about his conviction of rape, putting the community and not notifying when he's moving from one address to another. Rapists, murderers, and pedophiles generally on parole, they're going to have to notify. He wasn't doing any of these things, brothers. He was allowed to do whatever he wanted out here. Michael Taylor, this was under your, that's why I protected this community much, much more than you ever have. Yes, I have. Evidence will show. I've been shot by the state of Oregon because of you. Did you have 6 tear gas canisters launched at you because you're trying to protect your community? No, you haven't protected. You let the rapists run around. So let's continue with the undersheriff. Very aware of this situation. We'll continue against this evidentiary stream against you. I'm going to heat up my coffee. I got a life here. I've been streaming for all day long. Pretty much all against you. I'm going to do this until you guys either drop this case, I get a call, or you come out here in the middle of the night and you swat me again. Bring the feds out. Bring whatever you think you can bring against me. The Father will right everything you do. I am the Creator who sent his Son, Jesus Christ, the Hamashiach, the Christ, the Anointed, Shiloh. He creates all things. So you're not doing anything the Father doesn't want done here. So see, don't take it personal there, Michael Taylor. When you lose your bond and you have to turn around and I'm there to see you, I won't be like, ha, 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 ha. I said I won't do, I told you, I need to do it for the community. I think it would be best. Anybody disagree, brothers and sisters, I should at least be like the man who threw, the flash concussion grenade at my face. Where'd that go? I don't know. Oh, right here. Do you think I'll get to ever look in the eye when my eye is now scarred permanently for the man who threw this in my face? Do you think I'll ever get to see this man? He threw it in my face. Let me ask you this. Did the man know about my son's 180 hours already being done? And that cellular data will convict probably him too in his bond. I might be able to find out who that was, huh? Do you think he'll ever admit to who threw that 45 seconds, that concussion, and scarred me for life? I never called for violence. You caused physical damage to this property, Michael Taylor. You caused physical damage to my eye with this state of Oregon. You could have prevented all this with this. You ever heard of J.G. Wentworth? It's my money and I want it now. One call does it all, right? No, that's not the same. Yeah, what I like little jingle.
Myself here.
Here we
So
go.
I need to first. Cole Bergman is the gentleman who is now committing crimes against me again that has been reported, which is going online, which he was told to stay off of my platform, don't harass me. He said I've stolen things, committed me of thievery. I've already had your department come out to my house to show you the items that he's accusing me of are not stolen. I've already had.
They're just going to tell you it's your fault for not surrendering peacefully. Well, I rebuke you, Brother Ross. You've never gone and watched the live stream, have you? You would never say that. You've never went and watched it. Maybe I'm not 100%, but boy, just putting it back together. You ever went and watched the 16-minute and 43-second video? Now, you say they'll just say, but why would you say that? Because that's not at all what happened, huh? I'm just sure. I rebuke that. That's blasphemy. Yeah, FOP. I don't know what the FOP is. I used to be a stinking copsucker myself. Yeah, that FOP turns into Masonic. I know what you're talking about. Used to be a copsucker myself. They're just going to tell you it's your fault for not centering peacefully. Okay. But Ross, there's zero evidence to even support your statement. None. Actually, it shows 100% the opposite. Thank you, Father. And all these calls.
Multiple. The problem is nobody's doing anything about the crimes.
That day, dead headshots. I don't fucking miss. Expert marksman, military police. Go look at my DD-214. All expert mark. Look at Class A's. No sharpshooter, all expert. 2 shots. One to the chest first, one to the head. I can't double. I'm trained. I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't bring any guns. I never called for any of this. So don't you dare make a statement about me like that. Not you. I'm just saying, state of Oregon. That's what your evidence said. Under my 4th Amendment, I have the right to be secure in my houses, papers, persons, and effects, and they drove on my property. Evidence was shown, not on the gained access to my property without warrant. Already I pleaded through this with the state of Oregon and called, no, take this. And then why didn't they look at any of this evidence? I'm telling you, they're in the hills threatening me to best sniper, intimidating. I feared for my life. I could have came in, grabbed my rifle, and both given them 2 shots to the dome and pumped 2 and put 2. Maybe it'd better if I just went over and stomped 2 fucking potholes in the chest with my foot. Remember, I got some unarmed self-defense training. I am a prior law enforcement officer. I kind of grew up rolling around in the streets. Did I ever call for violence? Never once. I called for communication. Okay. No worries. No, hey, brother, wrong. We're good. I know what he said. That's fine. So, but anyways, I'm not concerned. Brother Ross has not soft skin at all. Brother Ross, he's already moved on. Brother Ross not even knows anything about Brother Ross. He knows that. So, no worries. Thanks for saying something there. Was that slightly stupid? Yeah. Okay. No, I appreciate it. Brother Ross just making a statement. How dare you? I rebuke you. Brother Ross is not, he's not a soft-skinned individual. Father gave him, I'm sure, tough skin. So anyways, they can't say that, brothers, sisters. Never once was I violent. And I could have believed in all rights shot those 2 state police officers that drove on my property because they'd already been harassing me. They'd already been on, and I'd already called for them to stop. Just come talk to me. You're literally making my daughter and my son fear for our lives. So I believe 100% under my Fourth Amendment, as long as I didn't shoot them in the back, and I'm not going to shoot somebody in the back. I'm going to shoot you right through your eyeballs, right in the middle. I told you I don't miss, center mass. And I'm not going to shoot anybody. I never said I would. I'm telling you, I believe I had the legal right to show how dead wrong Ross is. They have none, zero, not even a minuscule of evidence to show, even after they came out and tried to push me to violence, was I ever violent. So I rebuke Ross's idiocracy, not his of what the state would say. There's no way in hell the state could ever say that. And I 100% believe that I would be under my constitutional right and the right to protect my home. And this covenant that I teach, to right to protect your houses, papers, person, and effects, is not breaking the covenant. And as a man of God, if I had shot them, I would have been justified. Because I was not seeking vengeance. They were threatening me, and they eventually brought guns and marred and scarred me. That would have been prevented. I would not be scarred for life. They'd have a hole in their head, but I guarantee my son would have been released of his charges because somebody would have went and looked at that fucking dude shot 2 state troopers on his fucking property, and he had all the evidence of calling for years to try to get the fucking stupid elected sheriff to fucking do something about the stupidity going on and the criminal behavior. Instead, he didn't do anything. He hundreds of hours he streamed, just come to my door, call me. The state troopers were on his plate. He didn't run, go get a gun. Pow, pow. Got him, son. We got you now. There's no way in hell, son. They were on the property. Nope, they weren't on the easement road. They've been threatening us, son. Fuck them. We got their attention now, huh? I bet you they'll look at your fucking 180 hours now, won't they, son? No, sit back there. I'll take care of these dead bodies. No, go back inside, please. No, it's okay, son. Dad'll be fine. I'll be all right, son. I didn't want to do this, but I'm concerned about your safety, son. They're fucking threatening to throw you in a prison. You could get killed in a prison, son. Fuck them. I don't care. God said I have the right to protect myself. I can't go outside my borders. They were in this property, threatening us already for weeks. I know. We were talking about remember how scared you were? Fuck it, Elijah. Whatever. Let God judge me. It is what it is, man. No, go back inside. I'll take care of it. 911, I just shot 2 fucking idiots. They came on my fucking property. These people were already threatening me. And they're both dead. No, they got holes in their head. Yeah. They're like Oscar. I don't know, swimming around a fish tank. They got that hole in your head disease. I never did anything of the sort. I'd have been legally justified under this Constitution, my Fourth Amendment right. And I would have been breaking the covenant that I teach. You have the right to defend yourselves, brothers and sisters. Nobody can, under your Fourth Amendment, enter your property without warrant. Not a code ordinance officer, not the federal government. Not Michael Taylor, who has more authority than the federal government, without a warrant. So I would have been 100% justified to shoot those state troopers dead. They were on my property, threatening me, stalking this property. I was in fear for my life. I have the right to deem the force necessary under my Fourth Amendment. You're very lucky that I'm a man of God. Do you think those men even appreciate my reservation? Do you think they're walking around going, man, I'm sure you're lucky that guy's a pastor, didn't shoot us dead. Oh, shit, we drove on his actual property. We didn't even drive on the easement. Oops. Pleading to you, stop me eventually, you fucking son of a bitches. You brought gunouts out to my house and kidnapped my daughter? How dare you without warrant? Shame on you, Michael Taylor. Shame on you, State of Oregon. Shame on you, Judge Vandenberg and Ted Martin. You're criminals. You should never serve in a public servant in a capacity to serve the community. Your dereliction of duty in this town to protect this community is obvious. Evidence will convict you. Nothing personal here. Obvious. If I had it personal, I think I would have shot those 2 state troopers who drove on my property, because a lot of people in this town will shoot you if you drive on their property. They don't give a fuck if you're the state. No, they don't. Not out here. I told you, this is that fuck around kind of find out. Is that why you didn't come up here, Michael Taylor? Because you're worried about some of these other goings on. You got other business in this town? Because I only called you to come here peacefully and talk to you without any arms. Just one conversation, one call. Evidence is going to convict you because you never called me. So let's go back to the undersheriff. It is what it is. Fuck that shit. That stupid bullshit. Listen, these states should all be the same. So I don't want to hear your bullshit, okay? With your left and right paradigm. Kiss my ass. I'm a fucking veteran. You think I'm sitting here, we're going to go over there. Oh, we're going to shoot these people so these states, fucking shut up. With your political bullshit. It's people like you are the problem in this fucking country now. You're so left and right paradigm, you won't even talk to the opposite side. You're the problem in this country. You're the problem. Deal with it. Suck it up. Have some fucking balls, man. Stop being political. Your problem is in your sheriff's department. You're worried about left and right, red and blue. They did that in Rome. You've been divided. Divide and go, shut up. I know what's going on. It's you allow this shit to vote for this crap. For these criminal elected, who voted for this criminal sheriff? So, don't sit there and do your stupidity with this side or that side. It's two wings to the same dragon, two cheeks to the same asshole. Get out of here with your politics, mumbo jargon. I'm doing an evidentiary evidence against a criminal elected official. And you want to play fucking politics in here? See what I'm saying, Michael Taylor? This is me in your northern portion of the county that I'm speaking to your sheriffs. I have the right to say fuck all I want. And I don't like that it comes out of my mouth as a pastor, but it is what it is. I'm not perfect. Only thing that exists without darkness is I am, the light. He creates all these things. Every single thing, you have no authority over me. Neither does any judge, no federal, nothing. Only the Father will judge me. I have not put the public in safety and jeopardy. You have. So what? I use my mouth. I have a First Amendment right. You're a fucking criminal. And so is everyone under your ring with Judge Vandenberg all the way down. I cannot wait until every one of you are taken off and lose your seat. First you, and then are removed from your service as a public servant. My freedom of speech does not sit there and deserve me to be really criminally, physically damaged for life, scarred, and my hearing completely. I can still hear, but the noises are not the same. I don't think I've lost hearing as of yet, but it's definitely I feel balanced still, but there's something going on over there. With this flat, whatever scar that you put in my retina, I'm trying to get used to it now. When it sits there still forever, I get a look around, notice it, and it starts to, I think I see some. That sucks, man. I'm going to have to live without it. I don't know how long that's going to continue. You scarred me. You're in charge of this. These convictions of you, hopefully, in all your shenanigans, you'll know that these weren't personal vengeance and some idiot who comes in this chat and plays political bullshit. You're a public servant elected, so I toss this idiocracy left. It doesn't matter. You're elected there to protect, not red or blue. Veterans don't kill people in other country so somebody can be red or blue. Yeah, I'm boisterous. See, you like that? I have that right to speak up. This is what somebody who has that is not. Freedom is dangerous, brothers and sisters, if you've forgotten. And it always should be. But you've forgotten what it is to be free, haven't you? Ask permission to build on your property. You're going to ask permission. Get out of here. Anyways, you give your authority over these criminals. So let's see if that, don't be political anymore here, okay? 220, that's the downfall of this country. Idiots just like you who are so left or so right that you won't even talk to each other anymore. I'm an Army veteran, and I remember in this country in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of homes were homeowners, and they are all this. There used to be a whole, subdivisions and communities of people would barbecue, but the people didn't not barbecue with their neighbor because they didn't fly that stupid red or blue flag, probably like you did this year, and thump them. Kamala Akbar, Joe Biden, they're a bunch of freaking criminals. George Washington was a 3rd-degree Mason, 33-degree Mason. I rebuke Masons. Cornerstone, Christ is the Petra. Blasphemy. Yeah. All of them. Every single one of them. Don't support government. Mente is the mind. Govern is control. I don't want to control anybody's. A man should be able to move around, and always has since the beginning of time. And nobody could accost his body if he wasn't committing a crime. So if there's no crime committed, you're not even allowed to stop somebody. Oh, you don't have you're not required to have a license to travel. If you're engaged in commerce with the corporation, are you part of the corporation? If you give your authority over the corporation, then you are. If you'll stand up, you see, I audit Josh Bezel and Tom Rourke. I didn't get no tickets. No, I have the right to travel. 4th Amendment. 14th Amendment. Oh, they say whatever. I ain't even say you don't know how to assert your rights. It's your own damn fault. But I do, and don't ask permission, and I don't break any laws. I don't have a record. What the hell? This is insanity. What they've done to a veteran like myself for speaking up to people like this idiot right here who won't even, oh my God, you like Joe Biden or, oh, well then, oh, I don't like Joe Biden. Oh, you like Trump? Oh, no, I don't like Trump. You like Biden? In the 80s, 90s, and even 2000, left and right in this country could talk to each other. Maybe somebody's a little more liberal. They believed in if people got on a downturn and they needed some assistance that, not just taking advantage of the system, but we just don't shove our paw down to the people who have no money and try to help them. I'm not saying abuse the system. I was raised very right, conservative. Don't let anybody take your money. If you earn it, don't let them have, and that's more, there's two wings to the same dragon. They get this so pissed off at this blue over here, they vote red. Record number of red. It's Democrat, Republican. I seen the same thing growing up where I grew up in the City of Angels, brothers, literally, not little brothers, but grew up in elementary school, junior high school. This is right about the time after, right out there in high school, they came out with that red rag, blue rag, Democrat, Crip, blood, red, blood, Republican, blue, Democrat, donkey, elephant. These men were best of friends. They gave one some drugs and some guns and a red rag and said, all right. And then you got blue rag and you got prostitute. And then so they never talked to each other ever again. Just started shooting at each other. Friends since elementary school, mortal enemies overnight over a freaking rag. That's the problem with idiots like this. Michael Taylor, I stand up for this country so you can see, because I point out idiocracy and want people to have rights. This man probably flies this stupid, you got red and blue, cherries and blueberries, that your men both fly both. What do? I know who you give your authority to. I see it in your picture, the purple. So, but anyways, not too pretty obvious. You mix red and blue and you get what? Purple. Okay, anyways. So whether red or blue, if I got a neighbor and they're maybe a little more liberal or what, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. We're gonna have a barbecue. Hey, get your wife and kids, come on over the pool. We just got to clean it out. There were some leaves in there and stuff, but we didn't overdose with a bunch of chemicals. But we'd like you to bring the kids over and hang out, and we won't talk about your, And anyways, it wasn't really brought up a whole lot. You weren't stupid enough to fly Trump or Biden or Gore or George Washington. They didn't do that back then. What a bunch of idiots. They do this now. Oh, Flump and Chump, Donald Trump and Kamala Akbar and what a bunch of idiots. But if you say you don't like Trump, hold on. We're not going to even talk about these things. We're not going to fly these. We're not going to be so fucking childish that we're like, hey, come on over and have a barbecue, guys. We won't talk about, you don't even bring up, you put those things. I'm not saying sup with vipers. As a teacher and a pastor, I'm not telling you to sup with vipers. But you can, if there's some differences to the side, a few things that are a little more conservative, you're a little more Democrat. So that's not a deal breaker. right? Come on over, bring the kids over. We'll jump in the we'll have barbecue. Maybe we'll have some tea or something. Maybe you're in a medical state and you wanted to use a little cannabis because you're not driving. You're going to walk over. Yeah, we'll talk on a little. Kids they won't see us. We're out of and they'll jump in the pool. And Johnny did his little backflip for the first time. And little Jenny got a little puppy love, maybe got a little smooch on the cheek by Johnny. And oh my God, they ended up being high school. And then you fucking took that shit away from him, you piece of shit. Fucking left and right paradigm, red and blue, Democrat. You won't even talk to each other anymore, you fucking pieces of shit United States citizens. Flying your stupid chump flags and your Biden, Kamala Akbar, your Barry bullshit. Call that dumbass. You guys make these children. If you don't care about the children in this country, that's why you let Donald Trump print more money than any other president, taking away from the future generations. And nobody wants to talk about economics. How about the economic extortion of the community servants or community in Lake County by the sheriff's office? Yeah. You want to talk about Tina? A lady had to go all the way on the other side to completely other town to go get her groceries by a limited amount. And after just finding cash and then returning it to the sheriff, and they put her in jail, threatened her for 6 months, that it can convict her of grand theft or some bull, whatever. Criminal. This is you, Michael Taylor. Under your hat. This happened under your elected seat. And you are very aware of who Judge Vandenberg is because he is the one, obviously, and criminal Ted Martin, who signed off on that warrant for Tina. I want damages for Tina. I remember her for months and months and months, scared the fuck out of her mind. You scared her, Michael Taylor. You did with your warrant. With sheriff. You elected sheriff, right? Who signed that warrant? That'd be your district criminal, wouldn't it? Attorney and criminal Judge Vandenberg. 6 months, she returned the money the very next day. No money missing, no money spent. Even looked up the statutes to make sure he was doing everything legally, and you still threw her in jail. That is a costing somebody, brothers, sisters. These people do it all the time to people. Most people would have just taken a deal. Tina seriously thought, she's like, I don't know what to do, man. I didn't take it. And I was like, well, don't you dare. They're going to throw me in jail. I don't know what to do. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything illegal, Tina. You put it in a separate account. You cleared your money out. You looked up on the internet what to do with it. You did everything right, Tina. Well, they're still trying to convict. I know they're criminals, aren't they? I know. They're targeting you, Tina. Remember, you were real active during the COVID. They're targeting you because you're fucking loud, Tina, your mouth. You point out, like me, the corruptions, the things you see going on in this town, and you don't quiet about it. So you're being targeted, Tina. They want you to fold and take a charge, but if you just hold your ground and don't let them scare you, they'll drop it. They don't have any evidence to convict you. How did Judge Vandenberg get away with that? How did Michael Taylor get away with this? Tina Flowers she should be able to sue their bond as well. Brothers and sisters, we only have a limited amount of resources. Tina Flowers was kicked out of the Chevron gas station because of this and made to have to go shop somewhere else for 6 fucking months, Michael Taylor. You forget about all these undoings. This is a criminal conviction of evidence on things like you do with this for Tina Flowers, how in the hell are you going to pay for all her groceries? She only had limited groceries over there. That's a little tiny store that just has compared to over here. Gas. She had to drive all. This is on you, Michael Taylor. How the hell did you allow that woman to be brought into jail? Overnight, you kept her body. She'll sue you for every hour. She should be able to sue you for every hour that you kept her and accosted her body illegally. You had a warrant, but for what? She'd return the money the next day. The very next day to your ORS 0115 tells her that the sheriff or a law enforcement officer can come and have that surrender the money, even if it's not marked or labeled. So that's pretty good extortion there. Yeah, they could just take it. Where did that money go, Michael Taylor? Whose money was that? It wasn't Mark, so where did that money go? And how the hell do you convict a woman who gives you the money back, all of it, didn't spend any of it? And again, made sure she kept that money completely separate. No dime was spent. It was all given back. How do you how do you warrant? This is what I'm saying, brothers, sisters. And look at, for 6 months, this lady's life was ruined. Scared out of her fucking mind, thought that she was going to move in her car. She just wanted to get out of this county. So scared of Tom Rorick, Josh Bezel, Sam Birch, Lance Brown, all these criminal. Michael Taylor, he's never even shown your face in this town. You are a piece of work, Michael Taylor. You know that. I have called. Let's go back to this evidentiary stream. More about it. I go on, and I'm not going to stop till they swat this house, brothers, sisters. They're going to swat me or kill me.
He's actually committing. And the guy needs, I want him put in jail. People. He's a criminal. He keeps threatening me, calls me a transgender faggot. He goes online and does this on my following.
I get called a transgender faggot.
Now he's stoking this and laughing. It's like, haha, that's a hate crime, because he knows your department is not doing anything. You'll see it in his responses, sir. His name is Cole Bergman, and you guys are very aware that this guy keeps coming in. I've sent your department email showing. Go ahead, sir.
What's your name?
My name is Tracy, Werner. And you guys have already been out here. Send any deputies out here to my house. You already did that. I've already reported this, and he's doing it again. So don't send them out here. They're wasting their time. You guys need to go put this guy in jail, okay? He's a criminal, and I've already sent your department now multiple times, emails. He's threatened to come to my house, cause me, my property, and me bodily harm. That's a criminal. You can't do that. That's a crime. And he keeps going on. I don't want to be gendered. Do you understand? I don't care what my gender is. I don't want to be gendered. And he's called a transgender faggot and a Peter puppet. It's criminal what he's doing. And I was already reassured that this guy would be locked up months ago. And I've reported again the last time you guys sent out here, and nobody did anything. So it's happening again. And I don't. He did this on Christmas. I don't even celebrate that stuff, sir. But you understand? I let it go yesterday. And yeah.
Okay, what social media did he harass?
He has gone and contacted my email. He has contacted Facebook Marketplace and gone on the marketplace and got other people involved, making accusations that I'm a thief. Sir, he said that I stole the UFO that was up on the North Lake portion of the county that I built just for the entertainment of the county, just for looks. It's just a piece of art. He's accusing me of stealing it. The guy accuses, whatever he goes in social media and he sees in the background, he accuses me of stealing. He's gone around and round and round. You guys have been well and notified. The problem that I have is that Sheriff Rorick up here obviously is in cahoots with this guy, because I've had Sheriff Rorick come out and see that he knows that none of this stuff was stolen. And he, again, looked at all this, showed him boxes, original stuff. And he's like, all right, I'll take care of this, Tracy. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't. He don't do anything. Just that's his problem. He didn't do anything about the other portion that I've reported, sir. I have possessions that were stolen from me, too, on a whole separate case that I've called your department and made them aware of, that Tom will not get involved in, because obviously he's involved in that too. And so he's not doing anything about that. Maybe that's why he's not doing anything about, I don't know why nothing's being done. So I have a call in to speak with Sheriff Taylor, the elected sheriff. And I already asked you guys the last time. See, there's really no excuse for this now, because when I reported this same criminal activity last time, nothing was done. And now the guy's on leave. I don't want to hear that. There is crimes that are being committed. And I asked for the elected sheriff that would actually do something, because it involves, I believe, Tom and this guy somehow, I'm not the only knows what's going on of what Tom does in this county, sir. I brought it up in my live streams and stuff. So you do things in the open public. You're a public servant. You should probably be a little smarter and cover your tracks. Tom's not very smart about covering his tracks. And what he's stepped in and done and what he hasn't done, it is criminal, sir. Like I said, I'll be able to prove that what Tom has done in this case is absolutely it's criminal. He's very aware of the doings and goings on, but he's not doing anything about it. And then it involves other things. And again, I told you, that's what I just reported to the undersheriff. A possible murder that I've reported to you guys probably 20 times. Said that word probably you guys 50 times. Murder doesn't get no actions, nobody coming out, no investigator done. I'm going over you guys' head now on this other case because I can't get the sheriff to call me when I already asked him to call me on this case. And now I'm forced to, but on this case, there's a criminal activity. This is the same case involving Cole Bergman, who keeps coming on my TikTok making comments about me. He's already been banned, sir. He's already been banned multiple times off of TikTok for hate crime and hate speech and stuff off my platform. But your department won't do nothing about it. Not you, sir. This isn't a direct at you. But it's obvious that he keeps doing this. If he can't say, because that is a hate crime, you can't make a direct threat against my physical to cause physical harm to me, my property and my person. Is that not a criminal activity? Yes, it is. I know. I'm a prior law enforcement officer. You should answer that right away. Go ahead, sir.
What's your phone number?
541-214-9232. So I believe this gentleman lives in Douglas County, and that's where, in Sun River, and that's where Tom was going to go have the warrant issued for his arrest for the last, yep, Tracy, that's, what he did last time. This has gone on, sir, for about a year now with this guy. He should have already been, and he's mocking your department on his comments now, just so you know, because he knows you guys aren't doing anything. You see it in his comments now. I have them all screen captured, and they get deleted, but when they put them up, I report them and then they get deleted because it's hate crime, sir. Hate crime. You can't call me a transgender faggot and say I smoke Peter Puff Paul and say all this stuff on social media. The guy's committed criminal hate crime.
Are you believing
so
what you're hearing?
I already insisted that.
Are you
be
believing
arrested
this?
for that? You can't keep doing that to me. And he
Does
keeps
it even
doing
seem
that because
real?
your department won't do anything about it. So he keeps committing criminal activity, and I make my living
insane.
off the internet. I've already explained this to your county. So when he goes and says that I'm this and this deep and that,
on my marketplace,
that affects my business, sir. He's literally cutting into my way of living. Okay, and I've reported that already. So I'm trying not to overdo this, but it's been reported to your county for. I said it was in the live stream. I called you guys up. I had 1,200 people last time, sir, in the live stream. When I said, hey, this lady out here is murdered. And this county won't get involved in nothing.
Murder.
And then this guy's harassing me on my
murder. How many times
and they won't get involved. And here I am again calling. It's again and again and again and again and again and again. But it doesn't mean that there hasn't been criminal activity involved. And now it is going to actually be criminal activity on your guys' part. Or definitely.
We should write a movie about
Tom
this.
has failed to do his job. Dereliction of duty. And like I said, I try not to get the state involved and go over your head. I've been trying to get Sheriff Taylor to call me so we can deal with this within county.
See,
so
I'm trying to be professional courtesy. Fuck you,
but there's
Michael
other
Taylor.
people involved
You
now.
see that?
Like
I called your ass
Christy
before I called the
Let me
state.
explain to you on this case. Let me explain to you how crazy that this department of yours acted. Angela Dare, who will be arrested for criminal activity, which I've reported to you guys multiple times. She sold me an estate. I bought 2 estates. The one missing lady I ended up finding, sir, she's not even dead. She's not even dead, okay? She's not dead. Tom has talked to her, but yet I report her as dead. Why would Tom not tell me she's alive? See, this is okay, don't answer that question. Let me explain to you one other thing. The car that I bought from the estate, you guys didn't prosecute for the lady who sold my car that was on the other estate that I bought. The car that she got, that I know heard Angela Dare, and I've reported this to you guys to your police department, that Angela Dare said that when I purchased that first estate, that the car was hers, the freezer inside was hers, that was hers. Angela Dare turns around and presses charges against Christy, your prosecuting attorney. You guys had a grand jury, you had an indictment. You guys understand, you guys can't run away from what you guys have done and haven't done. You prosecute Christy and threaten her when that was her car. I'm sure of it. I've said that to your department multiple times. Then you make Christy, she returns the car the next day to your police department. which she's not. That's Angela told me multiple, and I've said that multiple times on live streams. That's always been what was happening. You prosecute Christy, and then your department makes her buy that car back for $1,200, sir. She returns it the next day. You threaten to throw her and her husband in jail. You step in on this matter, even though I've reported this lady. I believe she's missing. My whole estate is gone. Part of my estate is one of these cars. But you get involved on this one car because you get a call from Angela. The actual one who's for the criminal activity. You get involved. Angela calls up and says, I want her prosecuted. Tom threatens Christy to throw her and her husband in jail. Makes her buy the car back, sir, for $1,200. Doesn't give Christy the car back. She purchased it again because she got it as part of her first. I don't know. It's that Christy was given that car, bought that car. I was told I couldn't purchase it, couldn't move it. See, sir, there's evidence of this. The department, Tom, turns around, and the lady who was going to threaten criminal charges against Christy department, and we're getting an attorney for this, sir. This is actual criminal what Tom did. Threatens to throw Tom, or actually brings, you guys had in a jury, sign off. You guys got a warrant for this stuff. This is insane, but you won't do anything about what I'm telling you. Then you turn around, she turns around, Angela, makes her buy the car back, doesn't return the car to her, sir, and then gives the car, donates it back to the police department. Wait until the media hears about that. That is insanity. That is insane. That just shows you one tiny little, this whole thing is just like that. Do you understand? Did you hear what I just said? You threatened and got a warrant for this lady for a car that I was told that was hers by Angela herself, the one who I've reported the criminal who sold my estate to somebody else that I'd already already moved the first estate on this missing person. I have witnessed, sir, that she said her sister was missing for a long time when that's not what happened. She threw her sister out of there. She wouldn't let her sister come out, and Tom facilitated that, sir. This is criminal. I've asked Sheriff Taylor to get involved in this now, last time. In the meantime, I have Kohlbergen harassing me the whole time, and Tom's come out here and dealt with this. You have just seen the tip of the iceberg of what I'm trying to explain to you, what's gone on. So I am now separately reporting a crime to you that Cole Bergman now is again on my social media and has in the past threatened my security, my physical well-being. I fear that this guy could anytime, he's all over the place. You guys have seen it. I've reported to your department multiple times. He's committed not only a threat crime to threaten physical harm to me, my property, and myself, my animals, that's my property, anything out here. I don't fear. I don't feel safe out here because your department's not doing anything. It could show up at any time. Not only is he doing that, he's cutting into my living. And I've reported it to you guys now multiple times. Not only that, but hate crime, sir. You can't misgender somebody. It doesn't matter what my gender is. You can't be going after my gender over and over and over and then saying what he's saying. That's an actual hate crime. So I'm reporting that. And I want Cole Bergman arrested. If he contacts me again, sir, you guys are now even more on the hook that you already are, because I'm now reporting it again. The crime. You're not doing anything about criminal activity, your department. So please take care of this for me. I don't want this guy contacting me ever again. He should already have never contacted me many months ago and was told never to contact me, supposedly from Tom. But it doesn't matter because nothing's been done. So I have to report this, sir. I've tried to avoid this. It happened yesterday. What's that?
Where it happened yesterday, is that right?
Yeah, I had a comment on my TikTok platform. You know, my largest platform, the one that I live stream you guys on, that I live stream when you sent the sheriffs out. And he's on there. Oh, just 1 second, I'll give you the exact of what he said.
Is the comment still on there?
What's that?
Is the comment still
No,
on
it's been removed for hate crime or hate speech. Sir, what he's saying is not, you can't say that. You're a narcissist, deep, bipolar, hypocrite. Is that a hate crime, weirdo? I don't like you for being a transgender Peter Puffer. To eat your own. That's a criminal. You can't say that, sir. He keeps doing it. He's mocking your department. Do you understand? Is that a hate crime, weirdo? He's mocking you guys, whether you understand, and me too at the same time, because you guys haven't done anything. He would never be able to make that comment. Do you agree or do you disagree on what I'm saying? He say, is that a hate crime, weirdo? See, you haven't done anything before in the past, and he's laughing at you guys.
I'm not a deputy, so I can't make that. I'm a dispatcher. I just take information related.
Well, that's a hate crime, sir.
Anybody
You can't call me to be a transgender Peter Puffer. And if you can't just make an opinion and ask for your opinion on whether you think he's mocking you or not, I apologize. You guys sometimes act like androids instead of public servants. But that's okay.
Court, so you might want to be careful with your comments in the chat. This will probably be looked at by the federal.
No, I don't want anybody coming to my location again. You guys again sent 2 deputies and made yourself look like fools last time. I insisted on you sending the sheriff. Don't send anybody here. Go to Douglas County and put this guy in jail. You have already been sent emails multiple times reported the same thing. That's just one set, sir.
Crime and all this.
I've sent you guys multiple times.
Multiple sets.
You don't trust this narcissist freak. You're a thief and a real piece of work. Merry Christmas. Enough is enough, sir. Please go arrest Cole Bergman. He lives in Sun River, I believe. He has property out here too, but he doesn't stay out at this property. And you guys have been very aware of him, who he is. I believe he lives in Sun River.
Rorick knows Cole Bergman.
Do you have a screenshot of that comment?
I have all this,
Might
sir.
have something
Absolutely.
to do with
and I'm not trying to be over, sir. I've been trying to avoid this. If you guys would have already arrested him and take care of this, I wouldn't be calling you right now.
Maybe that's where.
All right. Well, I will.
I'm not trying to waste your time.
Cole out here in Christmas Valley.
We'll go from there. Our sheriff.
Yes, please have them call me. Don't send anybody out here, because if you do, I'll live stream you guys again, and I'll make you guys look absolutely foolish. The last time you sent 2 deputies out here, reported something bigger, they really just didn't even ask the right questions. They just really were quite foolish, and I don't want to have that. So that's why I'm asking. It doesn't matter. I need this guy arrested. Call me when he's in jail, please. If you need any other information, I'll go try to trace back. Go look what I've already sent your department. I already sent you multiple emails saying he's going to come out to my property and beat my ass and mess up my property. That's a threat to my person and to cause me physical. That's a crime. It's already been reported. So you have now multiple times, sir. Thank you for your time and your and please, forward that. They can call me back if they have any more questions.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Bye.
Yes, sir. This is
all right. There we go. That's Sheriff Michael Taylor. That's evidence against you. A whole separate case. They didn't even hardly let this platform know about it. They don't know about Cole Bergman and all the transgender faggot and all this, having his other accounts go in to attack my Facebook account, making statements just like the other dual accounts. The sheriff is worried. Oh, I'll get a warrant for him, and never does anything. So anyways, give me a second. I'll bring my cough back over, and we'll continue this evidentiary stream against the criminal elected sheriff in the Lake County, Oregon, where there's more rapists, murders, and pedophiles, because it is the poorest county. The sheriff's department has scammed the system so hard that in 2025, we don't even have police dispatch here in this county anymore. Michael Taylor, that happened under your watch. No, 911. There's been how many new conditional use? There's more growth in this town than there ever is, and now we can't afford 911. I think you're extorting money in more places there, Michael Taylor, and so is all your public servants that serve under your criminal gang of criminals. Must be. Why come we don't have 911 dispatch out here? And to 2025, there's no more 911 dispatch in Lake County. Isn't that crazy? And they're going to swap my house for pointing things like this out to you, brothers and sisters. I'm the bad guy because I care about the community and what these criminal sheriffs are doing out here, and district attorney and criminal judge, because I care about this. Not only do I care about the people of this county, I do care about this country. I know I talk a lot of smack about it, but whatever. This ain't the country I grew up in. Remember, a man and a woman won't even be able to hang out with their kids because somebody's left or right and the kids suffer. Fuck you, stupid adults. You act like stupid children, and the children are smarter than most of you. Yeah, you do. Kids suffer because of you stupid assholes. You won't even hang out with each other anymore.
Oh, I'm right, I'm left. Dude, oh, you're so liberal, you're so that.
Tired of it. All right, hey. Probably should get off here in a minute and make something to eat. So I think I will here in a minute because it's about animal time. Got to feed these mules. Yeah, well, hey, it's past my poor animals. Michael Taylor, now you fucked up my dogs. My dog is still not the same dog. So I got to say, for my take care of my animals out here, during the SWAT raid, who was I pleading for? You had to continue shooting tear gas canisters in here with your Oregon SWAT warrant. And all I was pleading was my son okay? No violence. What about the 180 hours? And most was my animals trying to get some numbers written down onto my phone. Never, you guys, I got baby kittens in here. You didn't give a fuck. And I hope you enjoy your time in a prison cell and have time to think about, I'm sure you have a lot of other cases that you're involved in, Michael Taylor, other than just me. But I know that I'm your pain in the ass in this county. There's not a bigger pain in the ass than me. And I know that. You should have just taken care of this years ago. I'm not going to go away. I'm not. I still live here. I think most people would have moved from this where I'm at. I tonight could lose my life, brothers and sisters. That's why I'm putting out this evidentiary stream, to protect my son's life, because they'll probably come for my son next if they haven't already, if they don't, and could have easily attacked. They already took my daughter and put her in jail without warrant and showed no probable cause, no reason for articulate suspicion. You have to have an indictment by a grand jury, a secret indictment, and they had showed a warrant for her arrest, not listed, and didn't even bring one out. They have to show that did nothing of the sort. The whole case will get dropped. I'm sure of it. What needs to happen, it needs to just not get dropped and left alone. All these people know to go to jail. This needs to go to a appellate court, and God will provide if so. I'll die out here trying. All said I would fight to the death with my mouth, not with violence. Remember, I could have shot your 2 state troopers, Oregon, dead here at this property. I had legal authority. They were on this property. I never called for any violence. That's the evidence, Michael Taylor, that your district attorney brought against me, that if I was backed in a corner, I would shoot. You came out bragging with the state of Oregon and the carrots that you were going to shoot me to the restaurants, and I never did anything of the sort, did I? I actually did complete opposite. So no jury is ever going to convict me because of your evidence says that an anonymous YouTube caller said I would fight to the death. Well, under the discovery of evidence and right of discovery of the evidence in this case during appellate court, they're going to have to summons maybe some of you guys too. I apologize. It just everybody who was part of these streams, especially like the person that said, oh, well, the state of Oregon's got the best sniper team, one of the best sniper teams in the U.S. Was that the state of Oregon? Or was that Sam Birch in here playing because he was even, remember before they ever came here, they knew I was here. They knew Elijah was here, and I live stream it, and they're down at the end of my driveway, and it said, so are you on the live stream? And they're flashing. You can see them flashing. So they have contact. They've known about their YouTube evidence is you. So be careful, because people call from all around the world. Your office, Michael Taylor. Your office, Michael Taylor. This is your evidence stream. And I've got more phone calls, so I'll be doing more evidence streams just solely against you. Because I've already done multiple evidentiary streams against your criminal judge Vandenberg and your criminal district attorney, who thinks he's going to weasel his way out of this and be out of office in January and push this trial out till January. That's like 2 months from now. It would take you 4 years. You're going to try it in this county because it's a conflict of interest. I've already spoke with Abigail. She says she's never seen a case like this. And because of the targeting, police targeting and corruption, you can't police your own community. This shit already left into appellate court. It's just God's will be done. So I appreciate it, brothers, sisters, your time. For those who were part of the live stream, and I apologize for my cussing. I'm a little bit stressed. I could lose my life out here tonight, and I'm very concerned for my son's safety. As you can see, the state of Oregon, if you can and watch the warrant, had no 45 seconds, my vision was marred for life. and I had no chance at. I was asking if my son was okay, and they said they were going to come out here and kill me. They bragged. They all met the night, the morning of the night before, at the local one of the restaurants up here in the community. Menor Cotton said they were bragging about it. So pretty unfortunate that their plan didn't work out for them. But thank you, Father, for protecting me. Because man, oh man, I tell you, when I walked out that door, brothers, sisters, on that light, I thought I was going to get one in the head. I was prepared to die. But I'll take a bullet for you, America, still, even though I don't like this country. If they martyr me, they only make God's word come to fruition. I'm not a violent man. I'm a meek man. I'm a pacifist. I've never called for violence. Although I may be a trained, armed, Army veteran, trained killer, I will not use violence. I speak against violence. I could have shot 2 men dead that day when the Oregon State Police was stalking my property and pleaded for, and they brought guns eventually and did shoot my son. He's alive. You go see the live stream, and they kidnapped my daughter. And she's lost her job, and I don't even know what's going on. Can't have any contact with them. I'm very lost right now, but I'm focused enough to keep my head straight to know that I have to serve the Father first. I can't serve my son. I can't serve my daughter. I've got to serve the Father. Then I need to serve this country. Then I need to serve this community, and then I'll serve my son, and then I'll serve my daughter, and then I come down at the bottom. So my concern of being convicted, thrown in a cage, I'll just teach whoever's in front of me. Throw me in Guantanamo Bay, I'll teach to people there. You're going to have to put me in solitary confinement. It's the only way you'll ever shut me up. I'll scream and loud, and somebody's going to hear me. So I already peaked as far as you can't take anything from me. Having this ministry is anything further reaching than I thought that the Father would ever allow me to do in this lifetime. So I feel accomplished in the fact that this ministry has been able to provide the gospel, and that nobody's ever called for violence. Nobody's ever seen Tracy, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse, pastor you to go out and strike anybody. And I hope that the Father is, still looking over all these people. I seek no vengeance against them, but I don't want any of these people that were involved to work in a community service and as a public servant again. And I hope everybody that was involved for years is all removed. It seems near impossible, but I don't know. I mean, I can't stop, brothers and sisters. The Father has me girded in his service. So I'm going to continue to teach off this ministry through this platform as long as I possibly can. I do apologize for the potty mouth, and I love having this ministry, and I thank the Father because it's been a blessing through one of the most difficult times where I can't even talk to my son. I would talk to my son for 2 hours and 52 minutes. Nowhere else in the world do I talk to for that long. And I haven't had any conversation with him, and he's just had horrible things done to him. And although he's made some mistakes, he did serve more time than I believe all 5 people that were involved in the original crime from 4 years ago that this whole swatting was about. He's the only one to go to jail. He's a pretty strong young man. He did another extra 133 hours. I hope someday he's reimbursed for all those hours too, and his wife. Poor lady lost her job. I miss my daughter. I miss my son. They were going to come out here and build a house out in this community, brothers, sisters, and just forget about all this. This is what happened, though. We tried. We gave it a lot of effort. I know we did. I know the Father, that there's nothing here that hasn't happened. So I do appreciate it, brothers, sisters, although I'll try to, maybe I'll just come in and do another stream here and just do gospel or something. That we need to just hear the gospel always, right? Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for the gospel. Through much suffering, through much thalipsis, through much theolobo, pushing down. I've a lot of pressure, but I'm fine. I'm okay. It's hard, but I'm glad that I don't have anybody else around me that has to suffer. Unfortunately, people around me suffer because of my loud mouth. I have that right, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to be the silent majority in history. Nobody can ever write me in history as being silent. I'm not going to be one of those people like World War II, just people walk to death. Even though I ended my tour of service in the United States Army, and I'm not proud of my tour and service. I don't have any pride. My tour service doesn't end to this country. My tour's end doesn't stop serving the community and just people in general, because my tour ended. So they did a good job at training me, obviously, because I don't like the military, but yet I still defend this country. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? No, it's the people in this country that don't have a voice, brothers, sisters, the people in this community that are afraid of people just like you, Michael Taylor. This is your evidence stream against you, Michael Taylor. I have no conviction to see you vengeance. I hope the law that will convict you will be the evidence against you. That's it. No personal vengeance can anybody in your county and the state ever bring against me that I called for violence. You got a lot of work to do there, Michael Taylor. You better find the word of God. When you get, a lot of people find the word of God when they're locked up. So actually, I want to make a mention about something, brothers and sisters, that I had somebody bring to my attention, and I want to just pick your brain. I do. I stream every day. My live stream every day. Somebody asked me if I would get involved, and I told them I have to clear this up. They want me to go teach in the prisons. They want me to get involved with somebody that is teaching the gospel in people that are convicted, and I'm interested in that. So remember, as I was trying to get this ministry mobile, I'm hoping that we can get through this thing dropped, and I'll be able to have something that I want to do with this mobile ministry. If the ministry is mobile, why not go out into the jails and into the prisons and give this gospel to the people who need to hear it the most? Christ didn't hang out with rich people, and he didn't hang out with people with lots of affairs and lots of money. He hung out with a tax collector and a mass murderer and a prostitute. And he said, put hands on the sick and be with the downtrodden and the widowed. We're supposed to serve the people that need it the most, brothers and sisters. So I'm excited, and I hope God will open that door for me. I would love to go teach the gospel. Maybe I'll see you in there, Michael Taylor. Maybe we'll both get locked up, and I'll teach the gospel. All right, brothers and sisters, I love you. I really do. I thank you for being part of this ministry. And Michael Taylor, you have no dominion over me. My Father will be the final judge. So no matter what you have, your men in your black robes or any of your district criminals, there's nothing going to do that the Father didn't will. The Father creates all things. So nothing is happening without the will of the Father here. Thank you, Father, for this ministry. Thank you for the blessing. Hopefully one day you'll be able to unchain me. We'll not only go out into the houses made by hands and we'll try to spread the gospel there, but what an opportunity that would be to go into the people who maybe, think they've lost all hope. That's when a lot of people do find they have time to read the word. They're not reading the gospel, brothers and sisters. They're not reading the gospel. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe God's calling out. It's written on their hearts if he wrote it right. Maybe they just need to sup with somebody in the narrow way. And God will convict their hearts. God will rebuke them and make them turn to that narrow way and show them the hados. Not me, but the Father himself through the words that may come out of my mouth that are not my own. So you can't do anything to me, Michael Taylor. Even if you throw me in a prison, look how overwhelmed I become. You think I'm going to stop? You can't keep this pastor down. You will not. God has a plan for this ministry. I am sure of it. And if it never does another thing and they come swat me and kill me dead tonight, it's accomplished exactly what you've chosen it to do. This is far beyond anything I think that I've ever could have accomplished in this lifetime. It's a worldwide ministry. The numbers are staggering, and I thank my son for pointing that out because I don't look at the numbers. But he did. He showed me how many faces that this literally has, how many voices, through his word, it's a worldwide ministry. We've touched more faces, millions, than mega churches ever think of. That's a blessing. Not of my own will. Please, Father, I never asked for that. I never asked. I only asked to just share your gospel as loud as I could from the highest mountain that I could reach. And this is far further reaching and superior than anything that I could have ever dreamed of. It is. It is an absolute blessing to know that people heard your word on every continent, and they weren't my own. Thank you, Father, for this blessing. Thank you for convicting my heart and turning me from this world and allowing me to do this here today with these people and anybody that's ever heard your word. May they not be my own, Father. May it continue to be girded in your service, not of my will, but of yours. Agape, following your Shem, your authority. You are my authority, Father. Shiloh, I will continue girded in your service. You can beat me. You can do anything you want. I will not turn from you. You can't make me stop preaching this. I know we get mad and we fight with each other, but I go back to study 20 minutes later. My will is not of my own, so you can't stop me, Michael Taylor. This is passion. Brothers and sisters, they don't care how much you know. Obviously, I'm a man of many studies for decades, but they care how much you care. You're at risk if you care, just so you know. I mean, like, truly. So, much blessings. I thank the Father for the numbers that have already been reached. I don't need to do anything else in this life. You can't do anything to me, Michael Taylor. You can't do anything to me, Judge Vandenberger. You can't do anything to me, Ted Martin, that the Father doesn't want done. You have no authority over me. If the Father writes all things, then he's doing exactly from the foundation of the world what he already wrote. Hallelujah. Eat of the meat, brothers and sisters. I'll come back. I'll try to do some more gospel, and we'll set this down for a day. I get a little bit concerned about my son, and I need to do what I can to protect this community and protect this country from spiritual wickedness in high places, principalities and powers, the rulers of the children of darkness, the rulers of the darkness of this world. So, will you please pray face to face for the will, only the Father's will. Nothing, don't pray for me. If the cops come out here and shoot me tonight, don't you dare get in the way of the Father. Please. I'm only asking you to pray for his will. That's it. Thy kingdom come. Shiloh. The gospel, brothers and sisters. Thy will be done. All right. 3 hours, 3 minutes, 33. Heck yeah, Christ was 33 years old when he passed. Thank you, Father. It's been 2,600 years, brothers and sisters. That's a lot of preparedness time. He said, have your lamps trimmed, loins girded in my service, believing in me, but be burning bright. Nobody knows the day or the hour. Have your loins girded. This could be my last night tonight. When I walked out that door, when the state of Oregon, they thought they were going to shoot me. I thought I was going to die. But I didn't fear, brothers and sisters. So you need to walk without flesh, so to speak. Yep, you must be born from above. Not again, daily. And from above is without flesh. I am. Like heaven, not above your head, but the ruling class, our Father, the one, the judge. I'm not worried about this flesh. I am a little concerned for the safety of the community, my son and my daughter, but the flesh of my own is the last of my concern. I did kind of put my rear end in front of my son's, and I did that for you. I put my own rear end on the line. Little the hole that's in my backside could be, you had a lot to do with that, Michael Taylor. I truly hope that when Michael Taylor goes to prison, that nobody ever violates his rear end. I would never want that to happen to Michael Taylor or anybody involved in this case. I wouldn't want sodomy to happen to anybody. It does happen in prisons, though, brothers and sisters, unfortunately. And this Michael Taylor, and any of these people don't care what happens. And I really don't think that they're caring about the public safety or even my rear end at this point. So, but I care about yours. I've just stuck mine in front of yours, if you know what I'm saying. So, but that's what a man there's two kinds of people on this rock. There's service to self, pornea, idolatria, and there's service to others. And that's what he said. Go out and be patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. I hope you're being patient. I'm long-winded. Love is meek. I never called for violence. He said, turn your cheek 7 times 70. That's 490 times. Love is charitable, right? Love is also the highest form of love is agape. And that's to walk in the commandments of the Father. And he is the wind in my sails. He's the commander of this vessel. So thank you, Father, for steering this vessel today. And I don't, if I could personally, Father, ask you for some more curving of this mouth, not of the words, but of the curse of the words that are less pleasing. I just get a little ahead of myself. Maybe I should slow down a little bit, and I could prevent that. Slow and steady, slow and smooth. That's a SWAT tactic. SAS. Shame on you, Michael Taylor. Was that necessary? You scarred me for life. You know that? I believe my son is scarred for life. I don't know if those bullets hit him or not. I can know emotionally he'll probably never be the same man. I don't know if I'll ever talk to my son again, guys. Doesn't that suck? I don't know if I'll ever even see my son again. And all I was trying to do was just stand up for him. I don't know. It's only up to the Father. That's a pretty hard thing to swallow. I have to think about that every day. They're still trying to throw him in prison. To this day, they are. So I don't know if I'll ever see him again. Talk to him. I can't have any conversation with him. That's because of you, Michael Taylor. You swatted a pastor's house. You swatted this ministry. This is a place of refuge. There's only providing a sanctuary for my son. You wouldn't even look at the evidence. So I'm going to keep compiling evidence against you, not for your... Because they charge us all with criminal conspiracy. If you charge, they're such very creative at what they do. They charge all of us with criminal conspiracy. Class A misdemeanor criminal conspiracy, so we can have no contact with each other. So I have no idea what the hell is going on with my son. And after I piss off that judge in that courtroom, it's very hard to think what could happen to my son. They've already fucking targeted my son, guys. Please, I said I just wouldn't, but what the hell do I do? They're already taking it out on him. They could go do this to him anytime. I'm fear for him, not my own. And my poor daughter lost her job, and she can't even talk to her husband. Man, this is incredible what they have done. So it is what it is. Go watch the last 3 hours of live stream of criminal Sheriff Michael Taylor and the band of criminals out here in Lake County, Oregon, where it's poorest county. I'll show you proof before I go. There's been so many conditional use permits because of the growth out in this little tiny town. It's just phenomenal. Somehow they've been able to extort all the money out of this county that this county doesn't even have money for a 911 dispatch anymore. Shame on you, Michael Taylor. Once again, that's not the first time I brought it up. That has happened under your elected county seat. Like 1 month from now, in 2025, we lose our police 911 dispatch out here. I don't want your butthole to be stuffed, Michael Taylor, but I sure hope that I'm there for the day to see that you're removed from office, that your bond is sued, part of it, all of your bond is sued, so you don't have any more bond. I'm going to encourage my son. I don't think I'll ever talk to him. Maybe they try, whatever. God will provide. My daughter and myself to sue everybody, law enforcement, community service officer in this case so they cannot serve. I seek no vengeance. Like I seek no vengeance against you, Michael Taylor, but you do need your bond sued so you cannot operate as a public servant ever again. You are a failure and a dereliction of duty. You've put the community here in North Lake County at risk of the Tony Karsten rapist. We have to mention that one more time because that's where this whole case starts from 4 years ago. So your dereliction of duty is not anything in my part that I spoke to seek vengeance. I don't want you to get your asshole stuffed by some man who wants to stick his big cock meat, big beak Bob, and I hope that never happens to you. But I don't want you to ever serve as a public servant ever again. That would be a disservice to this community, to the people who elected you. And as a community member, you've seen in this evidence, the evidence against you for years now. I've tried to get you to come to my house. You never did. I don't know why you keep thinking you're going to sweep me under the rug. You try to have the state of Oregon come shoot me. That didn't turn out like you thought, did it? So I'll keep going, but I'm not going to rest. Like I said, I would fight to the death with my mouth and not with any weapons, just like the evidence shows. But I will make sure that I continue to pursue without vengeance to make sure your bond is sued so that you can never, ever operate. Even I don't want you to think as a security guard. I think you need to stay out of the line of enforcement and community service. You're probably better like flipping a burger or something. Maybe you can get a job as a cook in prison or something, and you can make some horse cock sandwiches or bologna or whatever. Anyways, enjoy your bologna pony and your squares, your 3 squares, and cops generally don't do very well. So I hope the best for you. I hope nobody ever violates your rear end. And it's not funny. Did we just hear somebody snickering in the jury or somebody that's not funny. I don't want any vengeance on that man's behind. Never would I seek that. That's not what I would teach. But as a teacher, I got to teach you guys the reason why a lot of these people get away with this. Nobody sues their bond. Nope, it's not taught. Oh, they'll get busted and they'll move to a different agency. They'll go on paid leave. Paid leave for you get in trouble to go pay. But you have my word to prove. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. And if my word comes true, I refuse to sue the state of Oregon. Who should be liable? There was like 30 police officers out here. I should be able to sue every one of their bonds. Should be a substantial amount of money that'll go to the ministry. It will accommodate the 133 hours that my son did. My wife, my son's wife losing her job over this crap when this all could have, she never would have lost her job if they would have just came and taken care of this. They're all 100% liable. You, Michael Taylor. So your bond will hopefully facilitate all these bonds. They'll never operate. If you sue their bond, they can't operate in that line of work. Although you don't take them out of the work field forever, there's still burgers to flip. Maybe it could be a lifeguard or something. Oh, that's interesting. Lifeguard. Maybe you could be a lifeguard or something, but do I? Nah. I don't think you deserve a life. That's actually, I do not want you to ever look over anybody ever again. You're a menace to society. You've dereliction of duty in this town is not a personal vendetta. You let a rapist run around. Why would I ever trust you with anybody else's anything? Just go flip burgers or something. That's a start. I don't know if I trust you around food. And why, when I was locked up, and because I don't eat pork, You didn't even give me any meals. I missed meals when I was in your jail, Michael Taylor. I requested not because I have some kind of religious, or do I? Maybe it's a religious thing, right? But my request to not to eat pork is not something that's not uncalled for in a jail. And you didn't even feed me multiple times. I have witness because I requested something non-pork. I didn't get a meal. Oh, maybe a little, I asked Sergeant can't keep her pants on, Stacy. Oh, I'll bring you some peanut butter or something. She never even show up. So I even missed meals when I was locked up, guys. Doesn't that suck, man? Seriously, because I requested I didn't eat pork. That's not, most people know me. I don't eat pork. I just don't eat it. That's everybody doesn't like everybody certain things. But the dereliction of duty, I even missed meals, guys. I suffered because of the dereliction of the duty of their staff. They just got an award there, guys. Look at this up at the sheriff's office, at the jail. They put your herpes pants, your STD pants, your whatever, your sexually transmitted disease pants, maybe your shit pants, out the same hole that your food comes in, and they give you medication through the same hole by somebody who's not a doctor. You can't do that, brothers, sisters. That is all illegal, and they just got some award there at the sheriff's office. I just saw it, Michael Taylor. How could you ever accept that? You take shit pants, feces, and put it over the same door of STDs as you do. Oh, maybe that was good. I didn't get a meal that day. Maybe there was something across that door or something that I would have put in my mouth or something. Thank you, Father. That's why I probably missed a meal. Thank you. I don't know. The Lord works in mysterious ways, brothers. You never know. How do they get an award? Brothers, more than sisters, I'm concerned for the safety of the people that they put in this county jail. Did you hear what I said? Medicine gets administered by somebody who's not a doctor. This county should be shut down. The jail over here should be shut down. They just received an award. How the hell do you receive an award when you're putting STDs across the same thing that your food is? It's not good, brothers, sisters, what's going on in this county. And when people like me speak up, they normally get squashed out of here. Would you like to eat some herpes with your cock meat sandwich? Oh, here, have some melatonin or something so you can go to bed. Oh, don't mind. We just ran that over some criminal through the same hole, brother. Says this is the hole they kept me in. Kept my son in that place for. Listen, this is the other thing I need to point about this criminal freaking county. No throwdown. I brought this up when they had my son in there. I brought this up to your office, Michael Taylor. You still didn't even address this. No throwdowns. You can only get like chips, sugar, carbs, candy bars. I think they're like one thing of trail mix or something like that. Candy, carbs, no throwdowns, brothers, sisters. No beans to warm up. No jailhouse burritos. No top ramen. No, nothing of the sort. Only chips and candy bars, basically. That's all you get here in this county. That is sick. My son spent a year in the water, is nearly death. Tastes like you're drinking the inside of a rotten, inside-out swimming pool hose that somebody took a big dump in. Yeah, for a whole year. And there's not even any top ramen? Really? So pretty bad. Cold lunches, multiple. This county needs a lot of work. It's the poorest county, so of course it's going to have some issues, but some of the issues are criminal. So yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Like I said, is whatever everybody say. I don't know. I've lived a burger. So all right. That's enough. I think I have produced enough evidence for this stream to make sure that should be enough to convict you, Michael Taylor. And jury, if you're rendering a verdict on this, please put the law on him. Don't have a bias towards this criminal. He's a criminal, and people are criminal. They get involved in criminal, even in the highest places. Please don't be personal. Look at the evidence before you. If this is an appellate court, whoever looks at this evidence against Michael Taylor, please look at this. Please take the cursing out. If you want to judge me because of my cursing, that's fine. I have a First Amendment right. But as you convict Michael Taylor, will you please do not take this personal? I have no personal vendetta against him. No vengeance. Will you look at the evidence against him and convict him according to the evidence that you see? Okay? Thank you so much for the protection of the Father, and to protect this ministry and to continue to watch over this house. I'm going to get off here. I risk death tonight, and I'm sure that the Father will protect me. So, but if they come get me tonight, because I've been pushing at them. I had people calling in today, Lake County Sheriff, saying they're going to come out here and do a welfare check on me because I'm whatever, all these other live streams against the county. Lou was in here saying, I'm calling the cops. It's okay. I'll come back on. I will, guys. That's the only thing that kept me alive last time, and the Father. So I'll live stream if they come, guys. You know that. I'll try. I'll try to get it on, and but nothing will happen. This is our last time, it's okay, brother, sister. I didn't get shorted, and I don't think come in tonight, but I do think they can come at any moment. I've already called the federal government, the Department of Justice at a federal level. I've already called the Department of Justice at a state level. I've gotten no recall from those offices. I did get a call back from the bar, but I did not get a call from this special office at the governor's who does look into, because I had somebody recommends, hey, there's another office that takes care of things just like this. And I called them and I left a detailed message, and I've called I don't want to, brother. So I've tried so hard just to get this taken care of. I really wish I could just wake up and it would have never happened, but that would be in vain, and it wouldn't be good if it just got dropped. So they'll have to look at this, even if they come out in here and kill me. There's too many of you guys will know that I went missing, and we need to look into what happened to Tracy. Pastor Apocalypse is gone, and I'm sure you guys will be able to go look through the evidentiary streams, and it'll all point that they already tried to kill me one time, and they did shoot at my son. I believe they didn't hit him because he's alive, but they did kidnap my daughter, and I'm still very concerned for her safety, and I really wish those two could just be together, and I don't give a shit what happens to me. I really don't. I've already peaked in my life, and so not that I'm done, not that the Father's done, but I really like, my son and his wife to be able to have contact with each other. I've pleaded to this district attorney to drop the no contact orders, and he don't want to listen to me. So I do appreciate everybody who was part of the stream. Unfortunately, maybe called someday in a court of law summons, and I didn't ask for this. I've tried to avoid this for years, but unfortunately, I became the evidence, and now I am facing criminal charges to be of multiple felonies, and four felonies, I think, and a misdemeanor. So, ooh, you kiss my ass. You ain't convicted me of nothing. You don't have, under right of discovery and suppression evidence, you have the burden of proof, and beyond reasonable doubt. If there's any reasonable doubt, you can't convict me. I know my rights, and no jury is going to convict after just even watching the SWAT raid of your evidence under right of discovery and suppression evidence. I'm just kind of a violent man, just a man who speaks up, and I pay the price before that, brothers, sisters. Unfortunately, I'm not the first person to pay the price for being boisterous. So, and it's kind of weird how some places they'll stand down and they do the craziest things. But thank you for the protection, brothers and sisters, that you do provide by being a part of this ministry too. Witnesses to know that if someday you have to tell the story about Pastor Apocalypse or Pastor Revelation Tracy, obviously that's what this ministry, it's what they call me, it's what I was arrested as. What is your name? My name is Revelation. My name is Apocalypse. So, much love, and Agape and Phileo. I'll see you guys again Maybe I'll come on for the end of the night. I'm just burning out gas like it's crazy. So I think I just burnt my last second take of gas. I'm not sure if I'm trying, guys. It snowed here today and a little bit, and we didn't get a lot of sunshine. So my wind turbine ended up blowing down after years, and so I got to run the generator to keep this stream going, and I need to keep contributing evidence. So maybe I might just relax because I don't know if I have I don't know if I need to burn any more gas. I need to probably eat something. I haven't made a meal today. It's like 8 o'clock. As a matter of fact, I need to feed my poor popping dogs. Look at this good boy. Michael Taylor, my dog is different because of you. Just so you know that. I had to be out with my dog for many months because of you, Michael Taylor. That hurt more than anything. You hurt my dogs, man. You hurt dogs, Michael Taylor. Go easy on him, jury. Go easy on the guy. He hurt my dogs. Dogs, they shot 6 tear gas canisters in here, and my dogs had to stay in here when I shut the door. It was so hard to shut the door knowing there were 6 tear gas canisters. I didn't want them to run out and get shot and killed by the state. My poor puppies. He's doing better, though. He's my boy. He got issues. Every time he goes to the door, he thinks I'm going to leave. And he never did that. It's hard to deal with a little bit because he just won't stop going. He thinks I'm going to leave him. So he needs to be near me. He's normally right. You guys see that. So if you see in the stream, they're normally right here. You don't realize they're just right. So look, even my kitty. Got my kitten on the ground. My kitten boy with the dad. They're ready to eat. That's my Yesher boy. So, all right. Much agape. Michael Taylor, enjoy your shiny bracelets. I'll be coming for your bond. It's not a threat. I normally keep my word, and I need to keep my word. If I just back down and let them drop the charges, it would be in vain. And I need to do this for this community, and I need to do this for this country. It's more than Elijah Werner. It's more than Tracy Werner. It's more than my daughter, Adriana. This is a bigger case, brothers and sisters. So I hope that you have found a bigger cause in this purpose, and you find your cause in this, and it's justified, and it's upright. And you're doing the righteous thing. You know that Christ got thrown in jail. Most people don't know that Christ got thrown in jail because he stood up against the perversion of the law. They put holes in him. The state of Oregon tried to put holes in me, obviously. Didn't work out that way. So, love you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream, the Lord willing. If the state of Oregon or the feds don't come out here tonight, it's Saturday for documentation. Tracy pushed really, really hard for several days. And when I pushed this hard last time, I feel like this is the last time I pushed this hard is when they swatted the house. So I feel a similar ring, and I hope I'm wrong. I don't get everything right, but I've got kind of a strange feeling that somebody's watching. Somebody's watching. I've already made calls to the feds. I already made calls to the Department of Justice, state feds, Tina Kotex. I had to gotten somebody's attention by now. Why has nobody called me back? Am I even alive? Is this even real? Does somebody want to pinch me here? Nope, I got nobody to pinch me. I'm a man that lives alone. I love you, brothers and sisters. I got the Father, though. He'll protect this house. All right, I pray for your protection tonight, and I pray for the will of the Father. Come, I am Pastor Revelation, one broadcast at a time. This is the new age. I hope you're enjoying this time that we live in, the age of the understanding. The age of deception is over. It is. We're in the age of Aquarius, where the veil has been lifted. This is the age of the apocalypse, the lifting of the cover. I hope you're a living testament of his will. He made a new living will and testament. It's of your faith. It's a test of your faith. He sure has tested mine, hasn't he? I don't think he's done. I think it's going to get a lot worse for Pastor Apocalypse. I think this is the calm. I said this last time before the storm. I am Apocalypse. Whoa.